sexy. Confusing. I think that we both need to stop this illusion. I've been on the smooth, I've been on the bullshit. I thought that you knew this. Every to the music. Losing if we keep things confusing. I think that we both need to stop this illusion. I've been on the smooth, I've been on the bullshit. I thought that you knew this. Every to the music. You know this, every to the music. Losing, we keep things confusing. I think that we both need to stop this illusion. I've been on the smooth, I've been on the bullshit. I thought that you knew this, every to the music. Losing, we keep things confusing. I think that we both need to stop this illusion. I've been on the smooth, I've been on the bullshit. I thought that you knew this, every to the music.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome to another beautiful day. We're on to the finals of the AEL. We got so many different amazing teams with us right here, and I'm joined alongside with Priest. And Priest, are you excited for what we're going to see today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My guy, Fire. It's been so fun, actually. But tell me your thoughts, Fire. This is the first day of the finale. We've all been culminating to this particular game, to this particular point. Now we have all of those, teams together in one lobby, 16 teams, 64 players. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like we have some of the best teams across the entire African region right here, and it will be I'm curious to see who is going to perform. There's some names that we have seen for quite a long time, like the boys like Slime 4KT, like 1ML, like Desert Flames, and I feel like okay, yes, we're going to see them at least be in that top 5 spot. But there are also some other teams that I feel like they might be seen as the underdogs in this particular game, like 21, like Cyclone Shields, that might still be able to show what they're capable of. I'm always rooting for the underdog because I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm always that guy that is always hoping that those small boys end up at the top of the table. So let's see how it goes.
I'm also an Arsenal fan, but then I love to be realistic, and from the playoffs that I've watched so far, I see a lot of teams struggling. I see a lot of teams that are going to struggle. But I don't call no names just yet. The leaderboard will tell us that. The leaderboard is going to tell us that. I ain't trying to say too much.
Yeah, definitely. We had a couple of teams, do quite amazing. Like I did mention the boys from Slam 4KT. What do you think, the guys who are, or first of all, who are your favorites, and why? What do you think they're doing different from everybody else?
Well, let's see. Favorites. I mean, looking at this prize pool distribution that we got here, first place going out with 1,000 USD, and I believe the first place team is probably, going to be, one of those teams that qualified from the first couple of days. Second place goes home with 650 USD, third place 320 US dollars. Man, fire this morning. Sure, I'm not just carry on. Fourth place 250 USD, fifth place 200 USD, sixth place 150 USD, 120 USD going out to seventh place, 8 to 10 100 USD, 11 to 13 70 USD, and 14 to 22nd 50 USD. Thanks for coming. See you next season.
Lovely, amazing stuff coming in right there, as you can see with the prize pool. Thanks, Priest, for that. Going onto the points distribution, we do have the boys who come in first place getting 15 points, second place with 12, third place with 10, fourth still grabbing a lot of points right there, getting 8 points, as well as the fifth getting 6 points, and 6 taking home 4 points. The team that comes in seventh place gets 2 points, and all the way from 8 to 12 shares 1 point. And if you're within that region of 13th to 16th, have nothing. But every single kill matters, as you have 1 point per kill. So go out there and try as much as possible to get those kills, as well as getting those placement points. Do you think, Priest, we're going to see any team, grabbing maybe 15, 20 kills, as well as maybe grabbing home that winner with a chicken dinner? Or you think like the kills are going to be spread out throughout the games?
Well, based off of what I've watched, I think there's going to be a whole lot of spreading out. We've got Erangel, we've got Miramar, we've got Sanhok, and then we top off the day with Erangel again. So I'm expecting a whole lot of tactical plays. I don't think anyone is going to go outright violent in this lobby, at least on today. Is a feeler. All of these teams haven't played particularly together in a single lobby before. This is the first time that they're all coming together to participate in the finale. Some teams qualified from the first day, second day, so now they get the opportunity to show their skills, and prove what they've learned is going to be effective in the playstyle that they choose. But talking about how the teams are going to participate, the day one usually gives us a little bit of a snapshot on the ideas that these teams want to use to perpetrate all of their plans and execute them. So it's really up to these guys on, is somebody going to land on anyone? That's the real question. Yeah, because drop spots no be by mouth.
Definitely. These teams are always fighting for who comes out on top, who is that person to claim or lay their stake to a particular land. They're like lions. They want to mark their territory. So it'll be nice to see teams fight out for who is the owner of several different regions. And all these guys are wild, Priest. So we might see some Pochinki battles. You think we'll see like 1 or 2 players landing in Pochinki trying to, lay claim to that land?
Well, it's going to be very interesting. I do see the eastern part of the circle getting a little bit choked up because of the guys from Mad Knight and Slime 4KT, Yasnaya, Lipovka, all those ends with Milta Power, that eastern area is going to be, I feel like there's a whole lot of action that's going to come from that end. Then you got the guys from Cyclone Shield Esports playing all the way on the other side. They have 21st Century military base. So it's really but now we've got iMEGA Esports, Titan Gaming, all of them inside the mix. So it's all going to be determined by how these teams plan. But then welcome to game 1, Erangel, day 1 of game 1 of the African Elite League season 1, brought to you by 3 Crowns Esports and your favorite energy drink, Monster Energy. Fire, take it away.
All right, so we're seeing the map shifting all the way from that western region towards that northeastern region right there, and there are so many spots for these teams to land on. You got Primox, you got Ferry Pier, you got Pochinki School, Rosehawk, as well as Georgia Pool and Hospital within the sites of this many teams. So there's no excuse; they can all rotate towards their favorite positions. So we're already seeing several different teams already beginning to locate those regions around Primox. We're seeing some teams head towards Georgia Pool and Hospital, as well as Pochinki within that center. So it does look like we're going to have some teams right here, Priest, who might be getting into some of those early sweet action. So we'll be keeping an eye on some of them.
Well, we're already having a little bit of a skirmish. You talked about it, Pochinki, it's looking very interesting. I do believe that is Team Myth. I think they're having a little bit of something cooking out there for us.
All right, so yes, like you said, a couple of teams right there in Pochinki. We got the boys from Cobra as well as Team Meath. We also got right there in Primox. I do believe we got the boys from Seoul and CLS. Roach and his boys trying as much as possible to claim that particular position. All the way towards that eastern region, we have the boys in Lipovka from Apex, and you can see that zone already shifting towards that center, but drifting towards that southern region. So might we be seeing Priest, a zone that's going to shift all the way towards military? And military zones are always super sweet with plenty of vehicles blowing up and stuff.
Well, violence is the name of the game, but 21st century already looking strong. Like I said before, 21st century and military base always go hand in hand. They do perform extremely well in that map. So I'm looking forward to see if they are going to be consistent all across the board. First elimination does go to the guys from Team Black Cobra, if I'm not mistaken. They're already looking strong. It's one of those teams that we haven't seen in a while because they qualified really early, but now they're getting into a little bit of a skirmish with the guys from Team Myth, I believe. Well, let's see how this pans out. First blood is already upon us. Action, violence already kicking off. This zone, though, Tony, what do you think about this zone? Fire, tell me, this zone, how do you feel about this zone?
I feel like this zone is going to cause a lot of trouble because, several different teams are going to try as much as possible to get into, that region around military base quite earlier. I feel like it's going to shift all the way towards that southern region. So teams like 21 who have already shifted there, Titan who's already taken the initiative to get towards that spot already might be getting into that final circle. And regardless, if the zone shifts all the way north, it's still good for them because no one's going to be gatekeeping the bridge if the zone is shifting north. So regardless, we might see teams like 21 and Titan getting into that top 10 because of the way the zone is right now. So, but the rest of the teams, it's going to be a lot of violence if it shifts towards that military base, and we might see a lot of gatekeeping, a lot of action right there on the bridge. So yeah, we'll keep an eye for that and see how it goes.
Interesting stuff from the guys from Team Titan. I do love the fact that they've consumed the whole of Novo for themselves. No contesting, no one getting into any kind of drama just early on. 21st century maintaining, their military base regime, still holding it down, holding it strong. So I do want to see how that pans out. But then I'm seeing team. Beautiful shot coming in from Team Cobra. Their wash. Looking extremely capable as this teammate ends the game for Allah there from Team Myth. Team Myth losing another player from Team Myth goes back into the lobby.
All right, so the rest of the players from Team Meat will just be getting out of that particular region and trying to get into that zone. And you can see, guys, that, the boys from Cobra are already beginning to get into the action right there. They've got 2 kills to themselves and claiming that land Pochinki for themselves and telling them, hey, you know what? Don't come to our land. Don't come to our spot. This is for us, and we want to do as much as possible to hold this particular position right there. So we've already got some early action right there. The boys from Cobra, have already gotten some kills. We do see CLS right here in Primox trying to evade the boys from Seoul. And you got Romeo and his boys trying as much as possible to search for them. Could it be that they haven't found weapons for themselves and they are just trying to make sure that they don't get knocked and just rotate away with the boats right there?
Really interesting to see what CLS is trying to do right now because this is their landing spot really. So I'm actually quite surprised to see them on the back foot already trying to make a run for it into the zone. I'm thinking they're probably going to drive the boat all the way into military base, already. But then they are fond of this style of rotation. We've seen them before, and then the last time I saw them do it, it wasn't very very fortunate for them because the zone actually went north. So they all just fell to the play zone, and that was just an unfortunate sight to see. But I was thinking that they were going to take this engagement against the guys from Seoul, but it is what it is. They would just value their lives just a tad bit longer as they make their way on the boat into military base. Big moves from them. Hopefully it pays out, as the game goes on.
A shout out to the boys of CLS as they have retreated away from that particular position and gotten themselves into that zone. As you do see around them, there was the boys from Desert Flames who were not too far away from Seoul, and Desert Flames also might be getting into some trouble right there with the boys from Seoul getting into some action. You can already see right there on the kill feed, one of the players from Desert Flame has been taken down. It is 6 God, and apparently the boys from CLS not wanting to get into the mix of that. They could have probably seen that there are a couple of teams around them and they decided, hey, you know what, we're just going to prioritize getting into that zone as quick as possible and not getting to that early fight. Maybe getting the kills would have been good for them. They could have gotten a third party, but you never know how it's going to play out, and they have now gotten themselves into a good position within that zone. So Desert Flame losing one player. We've got a couple of kills in this particular game. Is it living up to expectation for you, Priest? Teams haven't really wiped each other out. They haven't been on all-out fight throughout. It's just been like, a little skirmish here, a little skirmish there. Do you think it's living up to the expectations, or teams are just warming up for now?
Well, this is game 1, match 1, day 1. Everything is the first taste, is the first level. But Soul Esports dealing the damage again to one of the players from Desert Flame, picking them off one after the other. And just like you said, Fire, it's really about the perspective that these teams tend to have whenever they overlook these games. Again, Desert Flame really falling short, this time around. They've lost 2 players already, and I think the guys from Seoul really want to take this engagement as Romeo pulls up to the scene in his coupe.
Oh, all right. The boys from Desert Flame are now getting attacked by the boys from Seoul as Romeo is on this particular fight. He's got to be really careful because there's 2 players right there in front of him, but his boys are coming into the scene quite quick. And Priest right here is getting really dangerous. You can see those nades flying out on both ends. Romeo is able to evade some shots, but now he's going in for that push. He's just behind the tree, and now he's got 2 players in front of him. He's able to take that one. Can he switch his gun just in time? But he gets taken down, and my goodness, it is a really crazy position that they have here. But he's got the support of his teammates pulling up onto that particular location. The revive is going down right here, and the boys from Seoul really putting in the work right there, and they've got 4 kills to their name. Lovely stuff.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Working extremely hard as they get the first wipe of the game. And we were just talking about wipes. Well down. Soul really just used Desert Flame to do baby wipes because they wiped them right off the face of the map.
My goodness.
Right off the face of the map, fam. I mean, I was expecting more, but then, the guys from Desert Flame Esports did get eliminated. And then, the idea here is they lost one player, then they lost another player, and then just kept going downhill all the way from there. But then Team Cobra, another team that's on the verge of getting another, 4-piece on some unlucky team, probably Team Myth again. But then I want to see how this pans out for the rest of this engagement that they might probably, have once the circle closes. But look at this circle, I mean. If we're looking at it from this angle.
Yeah, so like we had stated, before the match started, that zone was already shifting towards that region around military base, and you can already see things, getting tough. But before we do talk about that, the boys of Mad Knights are getting into some action of their own, as they are getting confronted by the boys from Seoul. And it does look like Seoul has now lost one player. They've lost Omar, getting into the action right there with the boys from Madness. And it does look like the boys from Madness might be pushing up onto this particular location. So well, Priest, let's take it for us.
Yes, sir. You know, Mad Night, like I always say, Mad Night going mad tonight. UMP in hand by the Beast with that UMP and a 4-time scope. And I think he has a suppressor on it too. So I think he's going for broke tonight. You know, but the Beast always active, always ready to take these fights. But then the guys from Crown Esports themselves fighting the guys from Slime 4KT. Plaza has been knocked down by Cacao holding the bird's eye view all the way up in this lighthouse. Interesting position from Cacao there. You have to love stuff like this. You have to love plays like this. They planned this out. They said anybody that crosses this path will pay dearly, and the guys from Slime 4KT are already starting to pay.
All right, so we're beginning to see some action right there coming down with the boys from Slime 4KT, and we'll see how that one actually does go. Man, things are getting really interesting in this particular lobby as we're seeing several different teams, you know, just get into the mad action. Slime 4KT already losing that one player. They've lost Plaza. And it'll be curious to see how this one actually does work out for them as they're trying as much as possible to get into that zone. And remember, we talked about this, Priest. We talked about, you know, several different teams finding it really difficult as the zone was progressing because of, you know, that breach, and several different teams just get bridge camping. And we see the boys from 3C already hanging around that bridge, as well as the boys from BJE, you know, just breach camping for now, and it's going to probably make it difficult for 1ML boys as well as the boys from Slime 4KT. Be curious to see, you know, what strategies they take towards, you know, crossing all the way to the other side.
Yeah, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing how the rest of these teams actually do make that swap all the way around. But then Team Soul against the guys from Mad Night, Romeo sends a couple of shots towards the Beast, but none of them connects. The Beast knows that he's there, but Tyson does get confirmed by Raouf. Himo has been spotted away by Amowin, and he is confirmed. M416 Joker is not here to play. He's not here to make jokes. The Beast has been heard again. Raouf with that grenade in hand tries to pop one through the glass. It does not connect. He tries again. I mean, fire. The way these guys are chucking these grenades is as if the grenade is the secondary, or rather the primary weapon.
That's one thing you see at this particular level. The guys not joking around with their melees and trying as much as possible to, you know, take out the players right here. But you do see Ralph just getting out of that particular position, trying as much as possible to press that jackpot boxing. Just get away from that particular position or get murdered by the boys from Mad Knights. And he sees that and decides, hey, you know what, we're just going to get out of that particular position. Prioritize getting into that zone, as that zone has now shifted all the way towards military base. And all these teams, a lot of teams will be looking to make sure that they can get into those positions right there. You still got the boys from Titans trying to rotate into that zone, as well as the boys from Slime 4KT. The bridge is now unoccupied, so they'll be making their way in right about now. So let's see how this one continues to build up. But curious to see right there is that we still have 15 teams in this particular lobby, although we have some bleeding out right here from one of the players from Apex. But man, it has been a crazy time with everybody so far prioritizing getting into that final zone.
Well, that final zone is really going to be one hell of a zone. You know, the guys from Afro Esports and Apex rotating way too far outside of the zone, and now they're starting to succumb to the play zone. The play zone is not your friend right now. 21st century trying to wonder, do we take this fight against the guys from Blackjack Esports? I think Nero is trying to get an angle on one of the guys from BJE, but then the fight continues here on the bridge. The bridge is the zone. You do not want to get caught out on Soul Esports driving just right up in front of the guys from Team Cobra. They are being spotted, but Cobra do decide to hop off on the bridge, and they have spotted Hebo. They confirm him. Romeo has been confirmed by Czar from Team Black Cobra. Fantastic play, hopping off the bridge. The reflectors, you cannot lie. That was some OP stuff from coming out from the guys from Black Cobra. They are looking extremely strong. 5 eliminations in the bank already, and they are still peaking, still trying to get more eliminations in the bag. Unfortunately, the Louch from BJE has been confirmed. And now the bridge, Tony, the bridge. You said this before. This bridge, he choked, bro. He choked too much.
The bridge choking extremely as all these guys are struggling and trying as much as possible to make their way in. It is very, very tough. But we can see several different teams are taking advantage of that, as the boys from Cobra were able to get themselves a lot more kills. But they're still outside the zone. They've got one player from Seoul whose health is currently low, you know, trying as much as possible to gatekeep them and see what he can get out of this game right here. But now, seeing on that kill feed, you just see the last player from Seoul has now been taken out of the game. We do have the boys from Titans also trying to make their way in. They're not too far away from the boys from Apex, and you can see right there they are looking in for those last players, looking to see who can be the scapegoats. You can see him just searching, and they're directly in front of him. He hasn't spotted them yet, but they're bleeding out, and Kage right there is in a lot of trouble. He's able to get one knock down. I'm not sure if he got that knock or if that was just a knock coming down right there, but then the boys from Apex have gotten taken out, and we're down to 11 teams left in this particular game. So much violence going down at several different regions. The boys from Cyclone Shield. Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Shee! That was a shee. M24 coming in handy as one of the guys from Blackjack Esports sends it towards CLS, but Zero receives that M24 direct to his skull and goes down to his knees. But I think the revive is definitely going to come through. No, beautiful grenade from Roach as he drops 2 of the players from Blackjack Esports. I do believe that they've engaged themselves with the guys from BJE, but Myth, Broly pops a couple of shots towards the guys from 3 Crowns Esports. He knocks 1, he knocks 1-9, he knocks A9Q. Confirm is the name of the game today as Broly tries to stack up the eliminations for the guys from Team Myth Fantasy. The last player up for 3 Crowns Esports, and the rest of the players from Myth pull up to the scene, but so does Fantasy. He pulls out of the scene, make their noble user and do sacrifice.
Right, Broly put in the work right there. I'm not sure, but do you think this is the same old Broly, the popular Broly? I'm not sure.
I'm gone. Yeah, I asked. Ooh, unfortunate scenes. He did get spotted out by Puncher there. I believe he had a little bit of a network thing.
Ooh, would you look at that? Wow, we're just seeing some crazy stuff going on at every single corner. The boys of Slime for KT in a little bit of trouble themselves right here, as they have one player who is also down, but Koa has now been revived. They're coming up against the boys from Titans, and you can see Storm trying as much as possible to evade the shots from the remaining of the Titan players while hopping into his vehicle right now, trying as much as possible to change an angle and to see if they can take out the rest of the players from Titan. Titans down to just 2 players left. Have they got 2 players knocked right down in this particular region? Who is going to be making it out of this particular spot? You can see Puncher just trying as much as possible to get into his vehicle and leave there, but look at that nade landing behind Koa. It does miss, but ooh, the other way around coming in from Koa, and he gets another knock, man. Priest, this is amazing stuff coming in from the boys from Slime for KT.
Slime 4KT doing what he do. They know how to do what he do. The Koa, the Storm, the Sexy, Fexy, all working hand in hand as they decimate the players from Team Titan. Puncher punching his way into the air, trying to conceal his footsteps, trying to get to his teammate that is knocked, but the truth, he cannot find it. Puncher, the last man up, chucking those grenades towards the guys from Slime 4KT, but he cannot see. His vision is blocked. The smokes are covering all the positions. Slime 4KT using this opportunity to spread around and gather intel. Now he's going to use the opportunity to get some information on the guys from Slime, but Koa has spotted him, sends a couple of shots towards Puncher, and this is that 1v1 we've all been waiting for. Oh, Puncher punches Koa down to the ground with that beautiful spray with his M416, and now is all left to Storm versus Puncher. Who is going to be successful? Is this revive going to come on for one of the guys from Team Titan? Team Titan looking extremely strong right now as Puncher is still trying to get that revive on, and I think he's going to go for it. I think he's going to increase the number of his teammates, but then Storm makes the same wise decision, reviving Koa. Who do you think is going to take this fight home, Fire?
And my money is on the boys from Slime 4KT. I feel like Storm might be able to surprise them right there. But hopping into their vehicle and maybe trying to leave that particular position is probably a wise move to make. Puncher is probably thinking that they've gone out to that particular spot right there, and maybe Koa can get a surprise knock or two, or probably just hop into his vehicle and just leave that one. But Koa is still trying to look for that one knock as he's spraying on shots onto them. But both teams leave with 2 kills each. All right, pretty fair, as the boys from Titans took out 2 players from Slime 4KT and Slime 4KT the other way around as well. Well, no, I think it was just 1 player from Slime 4KT that was taken out by Titans, right?
Yeah, I do believe it was 1 player, but now Storm has been spotted again. The fight continues from one end of the zone to another end of the zone. Slime 4KT and Team Titan, none of them giving it a rest. Apparently no rest for the wicked. Now Storm tries to find a little bit of a position just to get one knock on one of the guys from Titan. Yes, just like you predicted, Storm 2 OP. Storm for the confirmation sends Team Titan out of the game in 8th place. Storm 2 OP.
And lovely stuff coming in from the boys from Slime 4KT right there against the boys from Titans. But now turning our sights onto El Chapo's boys right there from 1ML coming up against the boys from CLS. And right now they're down to just the 1 player. They've also got Slime 4KT within their sights. And this final circle is looking really crazy as we're down to 6 teams in this particular one. We still got Broly, who was knocked out previously, the last guy for his teammates. But CLS is still looking strong in this one. You remember we talked about, some underdogs might be able to perform. They still got a full team, all right, in this final circle, and they might be looking good.
Fantasy, really out here living his fantasies as he makes it out. Unfortunately, he is spotted out by one of the players from Slime 4KT. I believe that will be Koa, and he gets sent out in 5th place. Big shout out to the guys from 3 Crowns as they go out there in 5th place. I do believe they had about 5 eliminations, but now it's all left to the last 4 teams: Cyclone Shield Esports, Mad Knight, 1 Million, and Slime 4KT. Cyclone Shield already have all 4 players up. They do have the numbers advantage, but now Slime 4KT have finally had the guys from 1 Million. Couple of shots have been sent towards the way of El Chapo there. He does get dropped down by Koa. Oh, beautiful spray from Koa there, and I do not know if this revive is going to come through again. Another spray towards Lazy Boy by Koa. Now he switches to his Groza. He chucks the grenade in his hand. Which grenade is going to come out first? Whose grenade is going to hurt the most? He pops, he locks, but he doesn't drop. Unfortunately, Koa makes the mistake. He made a mistake. Unfortunate scenario for him there. Fire, I think he made a mistake there.
Yeah, I think so. It was a very slight mistake coming in right there. But now we're down to the final 4 teams. The boys from CLS looking quite strong in this particular one, as well as the boys from 1ML. But I might say that position that the boys from CLS has is one that they definitely should be looking to capitalize. But look at that nade just bouncing right in front of Beast, but not able to take him down. It needed to be just a little bit further, and Beast just trying as much as possible to evade those nades right there. Might this be the one to finally get him taken down as it bounces again just right in front of him? And my goodness, Manny just being absolutely wicked.
No rest for the wicked for sure. The last player for Mad Knight, Amowin, has not been spotted just yet, but hopefully he will be terrified of Manny right now, because Manny has been using those grenades. He has been popping those grenades like pills into the streets, and they have been connecting. Fantastic play from Manny there as he eliminates one of the players from Mad Knight. Unfortunate scenes for Mad Knight there, as they did lose the beast, but they still have Amowin. Amowin entirely capable of soloing the entire lobby as it stands. He's just that OP. But you have to love the plays from Cyclone Shield Esports, and we did talk about them with their rotation all the way from the beginning of the game. They did make it into the play zone, and they have held this position so beautifully, so perfectly, so fundamentally. And now all that stands in their way is a few players from the team of 1 Million Esports, from the team of Slime 4KT, and the last player from Mad Knight is all that stops them from the winner chicken dinner. But then I spoke too soon, as Isaac puts the nail in the final coffin for Mad Knight tonight.
And crazy stuff going on right here. But now down to the last three players. But it was some CLS looking quite strong in this particular one, as they've got themselves in that zone, and they've got Mad Knights right there in front of them. And they've also got the boys from 1ML. So it'll be curious to see who actually does, take this game home. Are the boys from 1ML going to be able to rotate into those buildings and find a way to take out the boys from CLS and occupy that particular position? It does look like that's what they're about to do. They popped out them smokes, and they will be bashing into these buildings right here. Manny just waiting as he's about to throw in the nades onto that particular position. It bounces right in front of El Chapo, but it's not able to take him down. And let's go, Priest.
Oh, Zero does a fantastic job of holding the door. Zero has been holding this position, holding the door against the guys from 1 million, but Lazy Boy is not too lazy right now as he pops that Groza left to the corner of the temple of one of the players from Cyclone Shield Esports, and again he pops another one. The Groza just too OP. He's using the Groza to deal extreme damage, and he does eliminate the players from Cyclone Shield. Oh my god. Oh my god, and now Storm, the last player for Slime 4KT, making it onto the sea, but the grenade does connect and he ends the game for Slime 4KT. 1 million, the first chicken dinner of the night in grand style. Grand style.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
grand
goodness. Lovely.
Style. Grand style. What?
Lovely.
What are you saying, bro?
Lovely,
what are you saying to me, Fire? What are you saying to me, bro? I told you this thing, yeah? I told you this thing, but I ain't gonna say it on the stream, though. I ain't trying to be toxic, though. I said it, though. When you prioritize certain things over certain things, you tend to lose certain things. But I ain't trying to cause no commotion. I ain't trying to be dramatic. But I said this, though. I said this. I told you. It was very, very interesting. I won't lie. I wonder who the MVP is. Probably going to be Lazy Boy. Lazy Boy there. Definitely going to be Lazy Boy, because you can't tell me nothing. It's probably going to be Lazy Boy. But oh my days, man. I don't even know what to say.
Lazy Boy getting 6 kills to his name right there, getting 6 eliminations, but the total team getting 11 eliminations, and the winner chicken dinner, so grabbing themselves 26 points in that particular one. Lovely stuff coming in for the boys with 1ML, but we just got to say, as you guys have just saw right there, the boy Lazy Boy getting not 1, not 2, but 3 eliminations all on his own, and well deserved right there. He's getting himself 919 damage right there, and also grabbing his team home that winner chicken dinner. I didn't see that one happening, Priest. I did think to myself that the boys from CLS, especially after Zero had gotten that knock, were going to win that fight.
That was a bad split from Cyclone Shield Esports. That was a bad call. We'll talk about that later, but then Lazy Boy was absolutely fantastic. You cannot take it away from him. Look at his poster. His poster really says, yo, shh. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. I don't talk to my haters. That's really what his poster says, and he really showed them for a fact. 11 eliminations to the guys from 1 Million Esports, over almost 2,000 damage, just 200 points short of 2,000 damage, over almost 25 minutes of survival time, and they were a 3-man team. That was what was more impressive to me. They were not even 4, they were 3. And Lazy Boy, participated in backbreaking activity because he had about 6 eliminations and then left 5 eliminations for the rest of his teammates to share. And that was just fantastic plays coming out from him, honestly, because you do have to love it. But then Slime 4KT and Team Soul Fire, what do you think of these numbers? I think they're pretty much the same here.
Yeah, basically they are pretty much the same. But the story is that the boys from Seoul, had less time in the game, and they still got themselves 6 kills and a lot of assists right there. So given that they did not have enough time in the game, maybe next game they might perform a lot better if they stay a bit longer. As the game yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a game of timelines. Imagine a timeline where CLS stayed in Primorsk to fight Team Soul. That would have been another cascade of events. The seismograph that we're looking at now would have been very, very different. But look at the damage from 1 Million Esports and Team Black Cobra. Black Cobra that got eliminated when they still managed to do over 1,500, almost 1,600 damage. Now that is impressive, Fire. That was
very impressive stuff coming in from them. But not to take away the hard work done by the boys from CLS. They got themselves 5 kills. They're in third place actually in that game. But there's just something you gotta say about Storm. You know, when it does look like Slime 4KT is down, you know, they're probably going to get eliminated. They're down to the last guy. How many times have we seen, you know, Storm being that last guy, making his way onto, you know, that final circle, and either winning the game or coming in second, being able to grab them those extra points. So getting those extra 12 points would definitely mean a lot for that team as they grab 18 points from this particular game. Not bad for a game that might have been slipping away from them at some point.
Exactly, you know, and let's not forget about the guys from Team Titan. Almost 1,000 damage, but 2 eliminations. Let us not forget about Team Titan. You know, they were taking too many fights. They got caught out. They got spread way too thin and decided to lose players. But unfortunately, they did run into the guys from Slime 4KT and Storm. Being Storm dealt damage towards the guys from Team Titan. But look at this, 1 million in the head-to-head, basically all day long. Lazy Boy, the MVP of the game 1 tonight, you know, and Marshall, these guys really working hand in hand. And I see that they do have similar hand poses. Is this like a thing in 1 million? Lazy Boy and Marshall, is this like a thing that you guys do, like when you go to the studio to take photos, like this is the pose, like one arm under the elbow, like what is it? I mean, it's cool, but you know, but yes, fantastic. You can see that Marshall is the one with the utilities, with the grenade kills. I think he did get the final nail in the coffin for Slime 4KT in that last game with that beautiful, well-tossed grenade to Storm. You know, Storm unfortunately just made his position known. He got way too close, way too comfortable. You know, moved way too late, and Marshall made him pay dearly for it by securing that winner chicken dinner. The leaderboard, like I said, a snapshot into what we've just seen. And here we go, a snapshot.
All right.
We just seen.
All right, so we do have our first leaderboard of the day. Obviously, the boys from 1 million get taking home 26 points from that particular one, and Slime 4KT coming in second place. Of course, this is a snapshot, like Priest has said, because it doesn't tell the entire story. It's just the first game, so we'll continue to see as things do build out right there. But 1 million boys, Slime 4KT, and Cyclone Shields powering to be in that top 5, as well as the boys from Cobra and Mad Knights, both getting themselves 10 points each. We can still rule out the boys from 3C and Team Myth, who have also gotten themselves those extra points. So things are still looking pretty even right now. It's not like the teams at the top are running away with it for now. Other teams can still catch up. But look at where Desert Flame, Apex, and Afro are right now. They did not grab any points in this game.
You know, Kesley, I'm going to mention Kesley's name in this conversation because he said something before the stream started about Afro Esports. But I'm not going to be that guy though. I ain't going to say much. You know, it's just game 1. But Kesley, shout out to you though for that thing you said. But you know, just like I said, it's just game 1. Erangel, you know, everyone's getting their feelers out. You know, I mean, look at iMEGA Esports. You know, they didn't really do too much as well. 21st Century, Blackjack, Desert Flame, Team Apex, Afro Esports. You know, they're all getting a feel of the lobby. You know, iMEGA Esports, even Titan Gaming, all of these guys. You know, we know what they're capable of. We know their abilities. It's just a matter of time, and they have some time to work with. I mean, it is just day 1 of the finals, so I'm pretty sure that they know, you know, they have a plan to keep to keep their momentum all the way up.
Ooh, some crazy stuff that we have seen so far. It has been amazing. And Priest, yeah, just any last comments?
Well, before we head on to the break, you know, I really want to see how the next map goes, because it's really going to give us a little bit of an idea of how these teams really want to play today. You know, I usually know by game 2, so I mean, I'm looking forward to game 2. So game 2, is Miramar. That's going to give us a little bit of an idea of how these teams want to play this. But this is 3 Crowns Esports bringing you the African Elite League Game 2. Miramar. Catch you guys in a few minutes. Brought to you by Monster.
The heat's coming from a fires. I'd fire to my words. We're the worst every time, yeah, that we roll. Do you know how it goes? I'm my favorite secrets, he likes to keep close. Feeling it. I know that you're feeling it. Feeling it. I know that you're feeling it. Feeling it. Feeling it. I know that you're 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 feeling it. Feeling it. Feeling it. I know that you're feeling it. Feeling it. I know that you're feeling it.
شوف لفريق
All right, guys, so we're back again for some more action right here. As you can see, Priestess taking a drink from one of our sponsors right there from Monster.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
That monster, it unleashes the monster in me, you know. But you know, after that last game we saw fire, you know, we're still talking about it during the break, you know, in the conference, and it was actually very interesting the way 1 million handled that. That is pure class. That is PMGC class. Let's not forget that's a PMGC team, so they breathe a different kind of air, you know. So big shout out to the guys from 1 million for securing the first chicken dinner of the night. Hopefully we see them securing more as the game goes on. We are going to head to Miramar in just about a couple of minutes, but what do you expect to see in match 2? More of the same?
I think definitely we're going to see more of the same, because now a couple of teams have gotten themselves those points, so they will be, you know, they will have less fear in them. Like, of course, it's always Slam for KT, you know, 1 million, they've gotten themselves those extra points. We're going to see them coming back with some fire. There's still some teams who are on the back foot, who didn't get much points in the last game, who might be in trouble here in Miramar, because Miramar is more of an open game, and you know, if at this particular stage you're not stepping it up, you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. So for me, yes, the guys who have nothing to fear might go all out to this particular game and just grab those early kills. So I think it's going to be a very violent game.
Oh, so you're predicting violence. I'd love to see that. Well, I am actually looking forward to more tactical plays still. You know, no one is ever going to show their cards on the first day. I see a lot of these teams hiding their true abilities. They just want to get a feel of what everyone else is playing. For example, case in point in Titan, you know, but then 1 million doesn't really care. You know, they just want to take all the chickens dinners that they can get, if possibly will lead by like 60 points off day one. You know, that's really how to hit the ground running. You know, that's what I feel is the best way to start. You know, but then I may be wrong. You may be right. There may be more violence. We might see a 20 bomb, but let's head over to Miramar and find out.
All right, so to start with this Miramar game, you can see that zone shifting all the way from that northeastern region towards that southwest right there. And it is going to be really interesting because there's a lot of spot for these teams to land in once again, with Labendita, San Martin, Power Grid, Picado, all within the range of these teams right here. You know how Miramar usually goes, Priest. You know, it starts off a bit slow. There might be 1 or 2 teams who could land within the same region, like Hacienda or Picado, and get into some early action. Or we might just see, you know, it's just be a bit quiet, but that's how Miramar usually deceives people, because just when you think everything is quiet, boom, we start seeing teams and popping off left, right, center.
You're right. You know, Miramar could use you to catch some serious crews. The vibes never end when it comes to the Miramar games. You know, they're very, very exciting to watch because of the high ground. You know, the teams that do get the opportunity to play on the higher position to get there first and start raining hell on the rest of these other teams are the teams to look out for. Crown Esports loving their position already right out the gate. They do not need to make too many unnecessary rotations, so I'm looking forward to see how they will play this position. The teams from Black Cobra already somewhere here in San Martin trying to get a couple of shots towards the guys from Desert Flame Esports. I do believe that this engagement is going to last long, as you know, the game just kicked off.
All right. We're already beginning to see some action going on right there as Team Meath Ramsey gets taken out by Professor from Apex. Right there, the Apex, who did not get themselves any kills in that last one, already starting a lot better than the last game went, as they've gotten themselves 1 kill right here. They're right next to the boys from Myth, with Broly and his boys already getting into the mix right there and losing 1 player quite early. So not looking like the way they wanted to start. Both teams have pretty much just gone their way right about now, as it usually happens in Miramar. You know, just trying as much as possible to respect themselves and not go into an all-out skirmish right there. 2 teams are still sitting quite close to each other. The boys from Desert Flame and Cobra just eaching really, really close right there, as Hamodi is not too far away from them as well. So we'll see how it continues to build out as the teams are looking to get their loots on in this particular game. Some crazy curious stuff. But if you were to root for one team, Priest, who do you think is going to be taking this game home? Who do you think is going to be getting the winner chicken dinner if you had to give your caster cost to one team? Who's it going to be? Hello, Priest? All right, so we're back. We're getting ready to go. Again, in this particular game, we still got about 16 teams left in this particular one. We got the boys from Desert Flame already now taking out one of the players right there from Cobra, and Cobra all getting into the mix, but boom, we also see the boy Six God getting taken out right there by Hamo D, and they're making their push. One player on each side has been taken down. The boys from Desert Flame have gotten one of the players confirmed, and right there, Klasa and the rest of the boys who were still alive in this particular one will be looking to see if they can somehow recover, and we're trying to get Priest back into the game. Priest, just let me know if you can hear me once you get back into the game right here. Just to let me know. I can't hear you for now, but just let me know once you can just begin to talk. All right, so we still got about 3 players right there from Desert Flame alive in this one. Cobra, the player from Cobra who had gotten taken down, has now been revived, and it'll be curious to see how the rest of the game currently does play out, as the boys from Desert Flame will be looking to see if they can live up to their name. Remember, this is the Team G3, and we all know one of the big teams, huge teams within the African region right here. So let's see how this one goes out right here, as Flacco and his boys will be looking to win this particular skirmish with the boys Cobra. All right, guys, so we're still trying to get Priest back into the game, and yeah, for now we just keep going. I'll just keep going. All right, so we got the boys from Cobra. Desert Flame, and for those who are watching the stream who don't know the history of Desert Flame, they were, I believe they were currently signed, and their former name used to be G3. They're one of those teams, but I don't know. I feel like there's a cost around name change. Sometimes when teams change, it does look like they just lose that vibe that they had before. There's just something about Desert Flame that has not been the same G3 that we know, to always perform well, match upon match. So something's been going on with the team, and they've not been able to live up to that particular level. Regardless, they're still a very, very top team. Of course, they're in the AEL Finals with all this amazing team. So definitely showing that they are capable of performing and fighting toe to toe with the best of the best amongst the African region. But regardless of that, we'll see how they perform in this finals and see if for now they can battle their way out of this sticky situation that they find themselves in, going in a 3v4 versus the boys from Cobra. But they've only got 2 players from Cobra within that particular region, so they can make that push onto that position where they are at. And we'll see how this one goes. It does look like we've got it back in the game right now, so I do believe he'll be joining us in a moment. But so far, we still got about 16 teams left in this particular game so far. And I do believe it's only one player who has been taken out, and it's one of the players right there, as we saw in the beginning from Myth. Okay, 2 players actually. One player from Desert Flame has been taken out, which is Six God, and Ramsey from Myth as well. All right, Priest, are you back with us?
Mad Knight, as expected, looking extremely strong right now as they do take out the guys from Team Apex, sending a couple of shots towards the guys from Team Apex. Beautiful spray coming in from the Beast right there. Unfortunately, I did run into a little bit of technical difficulties, but I think I am sorted right now.
All right. So while you're left with this season skirmish going down between the boys and Desert Flame and Cobra, as Desert Flame did lose one player, you can see they have another player right there on the kill feed, as you can see, getting taken down, and that's Burden. So it might be a 4v2 situation going down, as Desert Flame is not looking too good. Mad Knight's also trying to make their rotations into that zone, and everyone's trying to find themselves a spot. That zone is shifting all the way towards the northeastern region for now, with so many teams already situated comfortably within that zone.
Well, it is beautiful to watch these teams the way they do try to make it into the place, and I do believe team Black Cobra and Slime 4K team might just be getting to a little bit of something. Kage has been knocked down by one of them from Team Apex. You know, I've seen Kage has been knocked down, but then the reverb has come through. He has spotted a reverb, if I'm not mistaken. I do believe that is reverb from Blackjack Esports. Oh, it's not reverb actually, it's Petrox. The names, the names on these players, you know, it's so difficult to keep track, you know, when players change their names so very often, you know, and when teams have all the way brand new players. It's actually very, very interesting stuff, you know.
Yeah, true. I totally agree right here. All right, so looking at this particular game so far, before you went off, I was asking, like, who do you think, what are you going to give your caster cost? Okay, there's this thing I usually do where I ask people, you know, who is going to get your caster cost in this particular game, or blessing, depending on how they do perform towards the end of the game. So if you had to name one team to give your caster cost stroke blessing, who would that be?
I think that would be like Team Soul. You know, I do remember how very, very dominant of a team they are. I'm very, very interested to see how they play this Miramar game. Unfortunately, Flacco is the last player up right now for Desert Flame Esports, but then I think the revive is going to come through Team Apex, trying to find some sort of high ground. I believe they want to take this engagement against the guys from Blackjack Esports, but Blackjack Esports have decided, you know, to make hay while the sun is still shining and disappear from that position. But they might just run into the guys from Crown Esports, 3 Crowns, looking very, very sweet in that top part of the hill right now.
All right, everyone trying as much as possible to make their rotations into that zone. As you can see, the ones from BJE as well as Titans looking to make their way into that zone. Remember, Titans who got into a lovely skirmish right there with Slime 4KT ball. Ooh, look at iMEGA Nagato taking on shots right there onto Agent. He's knocked him down. Agent for the 4 is currently down. He's trying as much as possible to get that finish, and it's pretty much just going to bleed out right there. As you can see, Nagato getting that confirmation right there. So crazy stuff, as we can see, as you do expect in Miramar, you know, some knocks here and there going down on all of this teams, but we've not seen any team getting eliminated so far. So we still got about 16 teams right here within this particular game. The boys from Desert Flame have lost 2 players, as well as Myth losing 1, and Mad Knights losing 1 player, as you guys have seen so far right here. The zone eaching towards that eastern region, as you can see right here, with the boys from Soul currently situated quite comfortably in that zone, as well as the boys from 1ML who got the winner chicken dinner in the last game, looking quite comfortable, and they got a team approaching them right now. So we'll see how that one does play out. But everyone's looking like they're going to find a spot within this zone, Priest. If I was to say who I think is going to win, I feel like the team who always comes into the zone last and is start passing people is probably that team that's going to win this particular game. So my money is going to go to the boys from Slime 4KT in this particular game. I feel like they could seal this game through if they can find a spot in that zone to call their own. But let's see how it goes.
No, zone magic is always the way forward. You know, you have to love that zone magic, the ability to read the play zone, the ability to play from any position outside of the play zone. You have to love, you know, plays like that. Team Titan finally running into the guys from 21st Century, 6 Ben, getting tapped down to about 40 HP. They are running amok around his position, trying to find an opening, trying to find an entry. But I do believe Puncher has been knocked down once again, and I know that this confirmation might just come through from the the guys from 21st Century if they are careful enough. And yes, Chronal is the one that gets the confirmation on Puncher there. So one of the guys from BJE securing themselves with a sweet elimination point against the guys from Team Titan. But then they are trying to find the position to get to inside of the play zone. Now, you did talk about Line 4KT trying to get a little bit of that delayed entry into the zone. That is their classic delay rotation play style, and then they will open all of these teams up for third party. So yes, you're right, Fire. It might just be Line 4KT's game for the taking, but then I still see Team Soul pulling a rabbit out of the hat in this one.
Yeah, there's so much that's now beginning to happen as we're now seeing action go down from several different teams. iMEGA and the boys from 3 Crowns are now getting into some action of their own. The boys from Mad Nice trying as much as possible to get into a sweet spot within that edge as they have the boys from iMEGA just rotating around them, looking to make sure that they can evade those shots. But ooh, look at it all. Slime 4KT, one of the players getting taken down right there. Storm getting taken down by Apex right there, and it is a very tough one for every single person right now as the boys from Titans are getting into a fight of their own, sending on shots onto the boys from BJE at the distance. And this is where things now begin to get super interesting, Priest. It is madness at every single region, and we might just see the boys from Cobra get on taking down or take down the boys from CLS.
You do have to love the resilience coming in from the guys from Cyclone Shield Esports, but look at Isaac there trying to get a little bit of a position on the guys from Black Cobra, but now Zero has been knocked down, so the opportunity for the guys from Cobra to take this engagement, they do have an entry, they do have a position to play from, and that's an advantage for them, but they have another disadvantage, and that is the numbers. But now the numbers have been leveled as Isaac has been knocked down by Zar. Beautiful play from the guys from Team Cobra, looking extremely strong. The guys from CLS do know how to defend positions. They are very strong defensively, but Roach has had his corners blocked. There is no position for him to play right now, and then Isaac does get confirmed by Hamodi there. Beautiful stuff coming from the guys from Black Cobra. Now Isaac has been confirmed. It is 3 players for Cyclone Shield Esports, and there's also 3 players for the guys from Team Black Cobra. And there's an easy 3v3. Now it's a matter of who's going to take it first. Roach makes a mistake of stepping outside, and he's punished dearly for it. Now the guys from Black Cobra have the upper hand. They have the upper position. 0 pops, 0 locks again. Thompson in hand, 50 rounds, shooting all the positions, but he doesn't seem to connect. The guys from Black Cobra are using this opportunity to dodge, to duck, to weave, but Hamodi is spotted again. Confirmation dropped. Fantastic from Black Cobra. Breach. That is what you call a successful breach.
Oh, the boys from CLS trying as much as possible to fight their way in on that particular one, getting 2 kills of their own, but at the end of the day, they get sent back. Okay, they got 1 kill, and they get sent back into the lobby. Manny and the boys will be looking back into this particular one and thinking, what could they have done better in that particular fight? It looked like at some point in time they were going to defend that particular position, but the boys from Cobra just been absolutely outstanding, getting on knock after knock and sealing that particular fight on. With the amount of action that you've seen so far, you would think that there have been a lot of teams eliminated, but we still got about 14 teams in this particular one, as it is just 21 and CLS who have gotten taken out of this particular game so far, with 21 getting 0 kills to themselves and CLS getting just 1 kill in that particular one. We'll now turn our sights onto the boys from Titan, and I do believe Mad Knight is also in some action as well.
Well, Desert Flame Esports having their asses handed to them by the guys from Team Apex and never letting them rest. Like I always say, no rest for the wicked, and most of these teams are very wicked. Team Apex trying to get a little bit of an entry against the guys from Slime 4KT or Team Cobra, but then Team Cobra making that rotation from the left side might just run into Slime 4KT, and they do run into Slime 4KT. Koa drops Faither, and that is the end for Black Cobra as they rotate in the wrong direction.
Ooh, it's time for KT looking quite good in this particular one. They've gotten themselves 2 kills so far. They still got a full squad, and that's the thing about Snipe for KT. You don't want to allow them get a full squad into that final zone. But we still got about 13 teams, so a lot of things can happen in this particular game. We got a boys from Soul on the side, on the boys from 1 million as they are looking to take them out. You can see the sights on Chapel right there, just waiting and itching for that one knock. But the boys from 1 million have their sights on BJE as they're sending on shots onto their location. It's such a small zone. We still got about 12 teams. Anything can happen right here. You have your money on Soul. My money is on the boys from Slime 4KT. Who is going to grab home that winner with a chicken dinner? So leave your comments right there, guys, in the live chat, and tell us who you guys are supporting and who you think is going to be grabbing this one home right here. Let's take a look and see how it goes.
Blackjack Esports have finally been spotted. You can only hide so much from the ops. Now, we really have 4 players for Blackjack Esports still up alive, but then iMEGA Esports don't care about numbers. They do care about engagements, and they've taken this one against the guys from Blackjack Esports. But MG definitely coming to that res for Krona, his fallen comrade, and I think the revive is going to come through. Devil chucks some utilities towards the guys from Blackjack Esports, but they do know that the numbers are now in their advantage. iMEGA will not be making this push. It is absolutely certain that if he pops up, he's going to get dropped. He pops a couple of shots towards Petrox there, but then return fire is already the way. 3 Crown Esports finally making the 3rd party of the century, pulling up into the scene to steal some of these eliminations against the guys from Blackjack Esports, and he's working just fine. But then 3 Crown Esports putting themselves in a sandwich or in a barrage of enemies as they do take out again Tyson from Mad Knight, and I do believe that is the end for Soul Esports. Castakos casting all the way in. I am too OP with this curse thing, man. You know, do you feel me?
You've laid your hands on them and prophesied and sent them out of the game right there. All right, so the Castakos definitely living up to his name as they get sent out of that particular one. And we're now down to 8 teams right here as the boys from Mad Knights get eliminated and sent back into the lobby. The boys from 3 Crowns looking quite good in this particular one as they've got themselves 5 kills. They're still looking strong. We got Meath Broly getting a knock onto one of the players right there, as you can see on the kill feed from 1ML. And right there in the center, we have the boys from Titans who are now holding a good spot within that zone. Several different teams like 1ML will be looking to fight their way into a good spot, but they've got 1R in front of them. They've got several different teams who are looking to get into that zone, and it's a very, very, very tight one. They got Meat around them. They got 1R. They still got BJE just lurking around in the back right there, and 1ML is looking like they have a barrage of shots. Just take a look at this. Look at this, Priest. It is shots upon shots. 1R, 1 round, trying as much as possible to see if they can take them out right there. They're sending on shots. Venom is currently low. 1ML is in a whole lot of trouble. It's down to just Lazy Boy. We've seen him perform in several tight circumstances right here in the in the AEL, but let's see how he does in this particular one. He's trying as much as possible to get that revive just in time before the zone closes. But Priest, man, did you think that they would have survived that barrage of shots?
Well, looking at the scenario that the guys from 1 round had against the guys from 1 million, it was very, very, very unlikely. You know, they did have the numbers advantage, but then 1 million just didn't have that positional advantage, and I do believe that Lazy Boy is the last player up for them. But then Petrox has been spotted by Cacao from 3 Crowns Esports. 3 Crowns looking extremely comfortable in this position. The utility is already coming out and cooking, blocking the sights of all the ops, you know. And then it's so interesting to see the number of players that are left in this very, very tight circle. You've got 20 players remaining, and then you've got 17 still kicking, still ready to, 20 of them still ready to take this winner chicken dinner. And I spoke too soon. Now we're down to 6. 1 million. Lazy Boy finally spotted, finally eliminated and sent back into the lobby. But now 3 Crown Esports still having their sights fixed on the guys from Blackjack Esports. Blessing spotted again by the guys from 3 Crown Esports, and I think they are going to take the engagement against the guys from Team Apex. And then the confirmation from Slime 4KT, Koa coming through, but again, Fantasy again with another grenade. It just looked like the guys from Team Apex had nowhere to go.
remember what we spoke about the Boston Slime for KT at the beginning of the game, being that team within Miramar rotating quite late and looking to grab themselves that winner chicken dinner. Now they've got a full squad, they've got a couple of kills to their name. They are looking quite strong as they might be looking to seal this game through, but they still got several different holders. They've got the boys from me just trying to pull up onto that particular location. You got Fex right here as well as the rest of the boys, but you can see like that teammate pulling up, but Fex holds his position with the help right there from Storm as they are trying to take out the boy from Mates. But Priest, Fex goes down, but he still has the rest of the boys to come in and provide him some support. Storm just pulling up right there, and boom, he drives his vehicle just around the boys from Meat, and Storm goes down as well. Do you see that coming? As the last player right there from Meat is trying as much as possible to keep them alive in this particular one. He now needs the support of the rest of his players to come into that position and take out the rest of the boys. But my goodness, that was some dangerous one. Maybe Storm should have gotten the revive onto Fex first of all before getting that push. You never know what could have been the better decision as Slime for KT lose 2 players in that fight.
That is how this is what the African Elite League this is what the African Elite League gives you. You cannot predict, you cannot decide, you cannot know what is going to happen next. Slime for KT looking very, very strong with 4 players, but now they've been reduced to 2 players, and now Myth is now looking like the strongest team. But then Crown Esports also finding a position there with 3 players up, if I'm not mistaken, and now Koa sent a couple of shots towards Farouk again. Now the guys from Slime 4KT are not letting Team Myth rest, but Plaza spotted by Allah there as he's dropped down to pray to his God to save him from these shots coming out from that icy clean M416, grenades in the edge flying around like it's nobody's business, but nothing connects to the guys from Team Myth. Koa, the last player up for Slime 4KT, trying to find a little bit of space, trying to find a little bit of position just to cover his backside so that nobody is going to ram him from behind. Big plays coming in from Koa there as he's using these utilities just to shield the field of vision of his ops.
Man, some crazy gameplay coming in right there from Slime for KT Koa as he's trying as much as possible to make sure that he can keep his team alive in this one. But right now, turning his sights onto Broly from Meath is trying now to get that knock. Well, Meath, my goodness, looking at some point in time like they were going to get sent out of the game, managed to get their revives back on. And we're seeing a situation now where it is 4 teams, but it's a 2v3 with 3 players right there for the boys from Titans. And now they have 1 player who's been knocked down. It is Kakao who has gotten knocked down right there. Slime for KT still putting in the work as Plaza does get a knock of his own, and things are getting really dangerous. Plaza and the rest of the boys looking as much as possible to see if they can rule this game and grab home that winner with a chicken dinner at the end of the day. It's a really tight one. The boys from 3C also putting in the work right there onto the boys from Titans. Look at that nade going in right there as the nade does take down Fantasy, and 3C now down to the last guy who's trying as much as possible to get that revive just before the boys from Titans pull up. But my goodness, what a game, what a time as everyone is trying to hold on to their life in this particular game. The nades are just pulling up left, right, center, but 3C is still somehow in this one.
Crown Esports with the never say die attitude as Kakao sends the last couple of shots from his beautiful and ICM 416 towards the last player from Titan Gaming. Fantastic stuff from coming in from the guys from Crown Esports, and this might just be that chicken dinner that they've been hoping and praying for. Team Myth going out in 3rd place. Now it's all left to Slime for KT and Crown Esports. Who do you think is going to take this winner? This chicken dinner is going to be so decisive. You know, the Slime for KT is already 2nd place on the table. This is definitely going to put them up there in 1st place. Now Crown Esports, they only have just one job. They have just one job, and that is to stop Koa. That is to stop Plaza from finding a way into the zone, from finding a way to that chicken dinner that awaits them. Slime 4KT absolutely capable of stealing this chicken dinner from the guys from Crown Esports. They do have all the odds stacked up against them, but never underestimate Plaza, never underestimate Koa. They can make this happen.
My money is still on the boys from Slime for KT. I do feel like they will find a way to make it happen against the boys from Three Crowns. You never know how it's going to play out, but so let's see how it's going to go. But Three Crowns looking quite strong. Definitely making me eat my words right there as they take out one of the players from Slime for KT, and it is now down to just Plaza. Can he make it happen on a 1v3 situation as the rest of the players are looking to make their way in? He does manage to evade some shots. For now, he has to take down at least one of the players right there. He goes into that play zone and gets taken out by Kakao.
Oh my days. Oh,
at the end of the day, it's time for KT getting themselves second place.
Second place again. It's not even about second place, about second place again. This is a back-to-back second place for Slime 4KT, but they showing you that they are definitely consistent. They have a plan and they are ready to take home this African Elite Championship, African Elite League trophy. Have you seen the trophy? It's amazing, by the way. That's an amazing trophy.
I mean, I haven't, but I would definitely love to take a look at it. But right there, Slime for KT getting themselves 21 points in this particular game, finishing in second and getting 9 kill points in that particular game. Lovely stuff coming in from the boys from Slime for KT, but you will not take it away from the boys from Three Crowns as they got themselves right there 11 kills and the winner chicken dinner, 26 points in that one also as well. So Priest, what would you say? Like Slime 4KT, more of the same, continue to get the kills, continue to finish in second. They might not get any winner with a chicken dinner, but they might be on top of the table.
Well, you do have to love the consistency here. You know, first game they had 18 points. Now they have about 21 points. You know, so the consistency has started to show in itself. You know, Slime 4KT acting like that team that may not necessarily win a chicken dinner, but they would win the entire tournament. So you have to give props to them. You know, like Crowns always says, Slime 4KT may not know how to finish games or close games, but they do know how to close days. And that was some interesting stuff. Absolutely fantastic plays for coming in from Cobra there. But the guys from Crown Esports just showed how relentless they could be. You know, they played the position absolutely perfectly, all the way from playing from the center of the circle. And I told you from the beginning of the game, you know, they do not necessarily have a lot of rotations that they do need to make, you know, based off of their landing spot. I do believe they landed somewhere central to the play zone, so that made them not move around too much. And just like I said, Koa was absolutely fantastic. He was absolutely phenomenal. The MVP of game 2 of the African Elite League finale, damage over 1,000 plus with 7 eliminations and a survival time of almost 27 minutes, you know, just shy 30 seconds. That was absolutely beautiful coming in from Koa there. Koa again showing us how beautiful it is to be the MVP. And look at that, just as expected, the three Crown Esports, the most valuable team, 11 eliminations, coming in almost 2,000 damage, just a few points shy of 2,000 damage, coming in with 11 elimination. And it is actually very funny that both the chicken dinners we've had today are both 11 eliminations.
Yeah, definitely. It's been some crazy stuff, you know, coming in from all of these teams. You can see head-to-head going on right there between the boys from Slime 4KT and Three Crowns, you know, getting 11 and 9 kills respectively. But you just have to look at that damage coming in from the boys from Slime 4KT with over 2,000 damage going into their name right there. And my goodness, what a time. Clearly, you would have seen a lot of revives coming down, especially with that fight going in versus, you know, the boys from Team Meath, as Broly and his boys almost got taken down right there, and they were really close as you know, the boys Fex and Storm were pushing up, but just a little mishap at the very end, and the boys from Meath were able to win that particular battle. But at the end of the day, Slime 4KT still managed to wriggle and get themselves a whole lot of points from that particular game. And like you said, they may not win or close out these games, but they do know how to close out these.
Exactly, you know, just like we expected. I'm looking forward to see the seismograph right now, and then look at the numbers. The numbers just keep piling up as you go lower and lower off the board. And now, once again, you see the guys from Slime 4KT, Team Titan once again dealing astronomical damage, but not enough eliminations. This is that thing that I always say, you know, the play style, the pattern, it's starting to rear its ugly head across these teams. But Slime 4KT, 3 Crowns Esports, 1 million, 1 round Team Titan, all of these teams dealing over 1,000 plus damage. And then you now have the guys from Blackjack Esports and Team Myth, you know, dealing subsequent damage as well, but then being shy of up to 5 eliminations, unfortunately. Then you have Team Apex and iMEGA Esports. You know, I don't understand what's happening to the rest of these teams. I don't know if they've not picked up on the strategies that they do want to use to participate at this level in the finale, but then it is just day one, you know, so it is way too early. But then 21st Century and Afro Esports falling short once again. They do not maintain, they are still maintaining, you know, that beginner's energy. You know, they're getting a taste of what the lobby is like, but then I don't know, maybe it has a bitter taste in their mouth, or they've not found the juiciest part of it to sink their teeth into, because I don't know what is going on. I'm clueless. I'm
You
clueless.
don't know.
Clueless.
You don't know what is going on. All right. We're seeing so much action coming in from so many teams. Some teams are not performing as well as we would hope them to. You know, the boys from Apex, as well as Cyclone Shields, you know, who came in third in the last game, just getting themselves 1 kill and barely eaching in some kills. Desert Flame and iMEGA not being able to, you know, show what they're capable of in this particular game. But we still got 2 games to go, so we'll see how it continues to progress. We still have an Erangel game, and I do believe a Sanhok game next. So let's see if all these teams can begin to show, you know, can come back and grab those extra points. I believe Sanhok is going to be a very different map, Priest.
Yeah, you're right. You know, Sanhok is a different kind of vibe. You know, I believe there's going to be more teams are going to be forced to take more engagements, as we see Cacao and Koa Cacao. I mean, that's a whole lot of C's. There's a whole lot of C's in these names, and a whole lot of because we've got Cacao, we've got Koa. You know what I mean? What are these guys trying to say? Do they have a special kind of code in the way they name themselves? Because that's some crazy stuff. But then look at the damage gap between Koa and Cacao. Now it's so interesting to see, because, you know, Koa basically was basically the target man for Slime 4KT tonight. You know, in this Miramar game, he was literally the target man. He was playing all of the roles that were designated to him. Unfortunately, Slime and Storm and Fexy did get caught out in that engagement with the guys from Team Myth, and then the guys from 3 Crown Esports used the opportunity to third party and advance their position in the zone. You know, so that was brilliant play. You know, more assists going to Cacao's way, you know, and then he did have the opportunity to get some eliminations and some damage dealt along the line, but Koa was just absolutely phenomenal, dealing almost 1,200 damage as the game went on. Now the leaderboard has now started to take some kind of shape.
Oh, definitely. As you can see right there, Slime 4KT sitting down on top right there with 39 points to their name, getting a placement points of 24 as well as 15 kills so far. The boys from 1 million not doing as well in the last game, and they find themselves sleeping down towards second place with 34 points and sharing that 34 points with the boys from 3 Crowns, who are now sitting down with the same amount of points in third place. Team Myth, who was given a whole lot of trouble to the boys from Slime 4KT in the last game, all the way now in 4th place, as well as Titan in 5th place right there. So we're seeing a lobby that's now beginning to shape up, as we're seeing several different teams just beginning to pull their weight in this particular game so far. So it's not just about the winner chicken dinners. You got to get those skills. You got to continue to be consistent, Priest, and we'll see how it continues to build out in the next couple of games.
Yes, sir. It's really about that consistency. You know, the consistency is the key. That is the absolute key in playing at this level. You have to be sure. You have to be certain. You have to follow the plan, follow the rules. Afro Esports are not following any rules right now, except, you know, sacrificing themselves to the many-faced god, the god of death. because that's all I see them doing here. 21st Century, following directly in their footsteps. Desert Flame Esports, also following in their footsteps. I don't know. Like I said, maybe this lobby just tastes bitter to these guys. This must be a bitter tasting lobby because I'm not even sure what I'm looking
my
at.
God.
It looks like they tasted the
Oh my
lobby
God.
and they're like, nah, this ain't for me. But then, I guess,
It's our
like I
stuff.
said, it's the first day. It's the first day. It's the first day. It's the
Yeah.
first day. But then we're heading to Sanhok. Maybe some more violence on their part, or like I said, more tactical healing. Because I really want to see if anyone uses the heal strat today. Because I've not really seen it a lot in the AEL, so I might just see it this time around because it's that finale, so people might tend to play differently.
Yeah.
But we're going to Miramar in a. Okay, go on. Yeah.
Sorry for calling you short, but the thing that usually happens to a lot of teams that a lot of people don't know. You can't just go into Sanhok and say, "Hey, I'm gonna play heal strats," right? Because to even be able to play heal strats, you need to get yourself into maybe the final few zones to be able to even do that heal strat. You can't just start the heal strat right from the beginning of the game, right? So which means that you do have to win a couple of fights. You have to get a couple of kills before you then say, hey, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna perform that heal strat. So for me, just coming into the game and saying, hey, you know what, we're just gonna camp and do the heal strats is not gonna work in a game like Sanhok because third party is real, and teams are gonna find you.
Exactly. The third party is real, and we hope to see more of those third parties in Sanhok. But then we are going to go on a short break just to get our energies up, because I do need to refill this. So, we'll catch you in a couple of seconds.
Alright guys, welcome. We're about to get into our third game of the night, and I do believe we're entering into a Sanhok map where things are usually very dangerous. There's going to be a lot of third parties, there's going to be a lot of early fights. As we do know, it is going to be an amazing time. We've seen the boys from Slime 4KT get finishing second twice in this particular one. Now we're going into the third game. Can they continue with their consistency, or are we going to see other teams like 1ML find a way to battle it out all the way into that top spot? We've seen so many different skirmishes coming up from so many different teams. And Priest, who are you going to say or give a blessing this time around to say is going to grab home this winner chicken dinner in the Sanhok game?
Well, I do love the consistency the guys from 21st Century have been putting out. I mean, they've been rocking really hard, so I believe this is the game for them. This is definitely the game for them. I believe they're going to take the winner chicken dinner this time around. 6Ben 2 OP, he's ready, he's willing, he's ready to, to carry the team on his back like he always does. So big shout out to them. I do believe, 21st Century really have this one in the bag. But, I'm really excited though. I'm really excited. I really want to see how Sanhok pans out. If there's going to be violence, I'm expecting violence, but
All right, so I'm expecting to see some boot camp things. I think Slime 4KT is going to be landing in boot camp. I do believe probably another team is going to follow them. So hopefully we're going to see some great action going on right there. As you can see right here, Sanhok is one. Probably we could say at some point this was the Nigerians' favorite map. Everybody playing classics. All right, here, loving to land in that boot camp center building. So let's see how this one does play out. So the map is moving all the way from that northwestern region towards that southeastern region in Kampong right there. So there's a lot of space for teams to land within their favorite spots in the entire map. It's a 4x4 map, it's a lot smaller, so let's see how this one does go down. We got 16 teams right here with us in the lobby, and I'm curious to see who does grab home this winner chicken dinners. Do leave your comments right there and let us know who you are rooting for and who you think is going to be grabbing home this particular game. Let's go.
Well, I'm really looking forward to see how this winner chicken dinner is going to come through in this game. Hopefully Slime 4KT would find the elusive winner chicken dinner. I'm seeing them, unfortunately they did not choose the path of boot camp. They've chosen that little bit of a Camp Alpha vibe. Camp Alpha does look like boot camp in a way, so I'm guessing that's the energy that they're keeping today. But then Team Titan versus Soul, I believe some action might just ensue from these parts of the map. It's looking very dicey, looking very spicy right now. as Weiss has been spotted. A couple of shots has been sent his way by Puncher, but none of the shots connect. But Teak might just run into some danger because that DBS might just start DBSing. He's spotted, but then the bullet does not connect. The DBS does not deal the damage as expected, as Weiss is confirmed by one of the players from Team Titan. And now it's Cobra, BJE, Paradise Resort up for grabs. The winner here is going to take 4 elimination points easy. Luciano pops a couple of shots towards MG. He does not connect any of his shots to get enough to get a knock, but then Luciano is dropped down by MG. That UMP working its absolute magic. Azar, the last player there, he drops 1, he drops 2, and now opportunity for him to drop 3. But no. BJE.
At some point there, man, it was looking like BJE were going to, get in the back foot right there with Zar, getting 1 or 2 knocks. He could have gotten that third knock, maybe got in a heel and finally get that squad wipe. But my goodness, what a time for the boys from BJE. We haven't really seen them come into the first 2 games right here today. So now that they've gotten themselves those confirmations and sent back the boys from Cobra, and not just any team, Cobra, back into the lobby, maybe that might boost their confidence. But we also now see some action coming in for the boys from Desert Flame on the kill field right there, as they have taken out a couple of players right there from Afro. There's also the boys from Slam for KT coming into a fight with the boys from Seoul. So some early action and skirmishes we're seeing going down at several different regions so far. Oh my goodness, is this what you thought was going to happen right here in Sanhok? I think it's going to quiet down.
We did ask for violence, and violence is what we're seeing. 1 Million Esports also dealing some damage towards the guys from Blackjack Esports all the way down out here in Cowl. Cowl is in the play zone. Oh, this is not Cowl. This is Paradise Resort, actually. But I think 1 Million do have a split, and they do have a player somewhere in Cowl. 1 Million do love to play these extensive splits. And now the guys from BJE against the guys from 1 Million Esports. Lilouch has been confirmed. So BJE have only 3 players up. 1 Million are a full squad, but I do not believe that all of the players from 1 Million are in this position. Petrox down to about 50 HP, trying to get that heal up. Any engagement coming in from the guys from 1 Million Esports might just be costly enough to end the game for the guys from BJE, because BJE right now are not looking too strong. The pressure is really getting worse as the guys from Blackjack Esports are now trying to find a position to play against the guys from 1 Million Esports from Lazy Boy. He's not lazy tonight.
And it is looking quite crazy at every single corner. The boys from 1 Million looking to see if they can take out the boys from BJE. BJE hasn't really been in, the mix so far today when it comes to getting into, the fights with several different teams. They're usually a very aggressive team, but they don't see some of their mates right here as they are getting pushed by, the boys from 1ML. They're down to a 3v4 situation as they have one of the players who has been taken down and trying, Petrox and the rest, trying as much as possible to take it easy and take out at least one of the players from 1ML before making that full push. 1ML being absolutely smart at this particular one, making sure they're holding their angles properly, not to get taken out. And you can see Lazy Boy just pulling up onto that position where Krona is at Priest.
Yes, sir. We see Lazy Boy again trying to put the nail in the coffin to the guys from Blackjack Esports. BJE trying to find a little bit of space between themselves inside of that small encampment in Paradise Resort. But now the Beast has been spotted by Knight there as one round deals some damage towards the guys from Mad Knight. Mad Knight have not been able to find their footing just in time tonight, as one of these top players for them, the Beast, is confirmed. Unfortunately, he is just one of the players to be confirmed, but Lazy Boy too OP, connects a couple of shots towards the guys from Blackjack Esports, and now Blackjack Esports are down to 2 players. Venom being venomous in his movement, snaking left and right, strafing left, strafing right, strafing all the positions, but Petrox just waiting a little bit of those pixels to connect his spots. He drops him instantly, and now the confirmation might just come through from Petrox there against the guys from BJE, but no, Marshall to the rescue as he ends the game for the guys from Blackjack Esports.
Oh, the boys from 1 million just looking quite strong in that particular one as they do take out the boys from Blackjack Esports and send them back into the lobby. Great stuff coming in right there as they are looking to get into the action right there, pushing the boys from 1 million. But the boys from Apex are also looking around this region, looking to get themselves into several different skirmishes that they do spot the boys from CLS rotating around them. And we're curious to see how this game currently continues to build out as we're down to 13 teams. The boys from 1ML losing one player in that particular one. We turn the sides onto the boys from Mad Knights as well, who have lost one player in this particular one. It is violence upon violence at every single corner and every single spot. So one round is just looking around this region where the boys from Mad Knights are currently situated, and we'll be seeing how it continues to go as we do move on to our next second zone right about now. Everyone will now be looking to rotate into that spot. Tell us what you think is going to be playing out in that next zone, Chris.
Bad night, absolutely beautiful position from there. But now Team Soul have finally run into the guys from Titan. They are worst enemies, and now Twix is putting these shots towards Teak there, but he knows that that's his position. He chucks the grenade, he tries to connect all across the board, but nothing comes through. Hemo does connect the grenade to Teak, and now we know that the guys from Team Soul want to take this engagement, but then Teak does have the opportunity to get that revive on himself via his teammate. I believe that is Axa trying to get a little bit of position on him, and punches Twix down by the jaws right there, but then that sends the push all the way back. Hemo knows that this engagement is not happening, but Axa taking the initiative, making the push across the board already. He knows that the engagement is already going to be theirs if they take the win, and now is the opportunity for Axa to start to get it popping. M416 already very icy, but he switches to the UMP, sends a couple of shots towards Hemo, and then he drops him down to his knees, and now it's all left to Twix there. Chocolate bar Twix, but Twix about to taste sweet to these guys as yes, T.
Sweet Twix. All right, the boys from Titans getting themselves a couple of eliminations right there. But look at that kill feed as the boys from Cyclone Shield have taken down one of the players right there from 1ML. And remember that 1ML was a 3-man squad having fought with the boys from BJE, but looks like they have been okay. No, they were a full squad actually, but they've lost one player right here onto the boys from CLS and taking out that one player. But Heise getting knocked down by Lazy Boy. Lazy Boy continuing his work, and right about now it does look like they're on some crazy stuff as they've taken out the boys from Cyclone Shield, send them back into the lobby. We're down with 11 players left in this one, and it is looking quite dangerous so far, as all of these teams are now looking to get themselves into a great spot within that zone. Crazy time. 21 still putting up their rotations, trying as much as possible to find themselves in a good spot. They're currently drinking the blue. Can Sixben, Agatha, and the rest get themselves into a good spot within that zone? We'll see how it continues to go. They've got the caster blessing, all costs coming in from Priest, and we'll see how that one does favor them.
Yes, sir. We can see the guys from Team Myth here. I do believe that their heal strat is already starting to cook here. 14 meds already in Farouk's hand, and I do believe that the guys from Team Myth have already planned that yes, we are going to heal strat this, as far as we know. But then Slime 4KT they do not want to be caught outside of the blue zone. They are already making their rotations ahead, or I'm mistaken, they're actually going in the opposite direction. You do have to love how these teams decide to make these plays. It's very, very interesting stuff. Slime 4KT did not want to run into the guys from Mad Knight, so they are using another position to get into the zone. But then 1 million looking absolutely fantastic, looking absolutely strong. A couple of shots coming in from Axa there as he tries to drop the players from Slime 4KT. Fortunately for Storm, he knows how to drive. He knows the color of his Bugatti is safe. That is the color safe from these bullets from the guys from Team Titan, as none of the bullets connect to Slime 4KT. Now they do have a little bit of advantage with the upper hand here, that Plaza is probably going to laser these shots into the guys from Team Titan from this position.
Great stuff coming in right there with the boys from Slime 4KT. Kind of like a sticky situation against the boys from Titans, and my goodness, look at that shot evading coming in from Tick as he really wanted to stay alive in that particular one. Now the boys from Slime 4KT will be looking to make those rotations into that zone. We also see on the kill feed right there, it does look like the boys from Desert Flame have found the boys from Titans, and this might just be a 3-way fight coming in right here. Slime Forget has got to be really careful as the boys from Desert, Desert Flame are just lurking around that region as well, and might give them a run for their money as they all look to find themselves into that zone.
Yes, sir. You know the play zone. The play zone is the one to decide the play path, the playing style, and the playing path of most of these teams. It's now a matter of how do they want to play this. Do they want to go for aggression? Because the guys from Desert Flame Esports already have 5 eliminations in the bag. They're already chilling. They already know that is automatic 5 points confirmed. They do not need to overzealous. They do not need to do too much. But then the guys from Team Titan already know that they're there. 21st Century finally on the left side of the kill feed as they eliminate one of the players from 3 Crowns Esports. But then I know that the revive is going to come through because Fantasy does know how to use those utilities. He loves those utilities. The smokes are already blocking the view. 6Ben is trying to send a couple of shots towards A9Q. He has finally been spotted. If he pops out again, they might spot him, and they do spot 6Ben. That is a rookie mistake. You cannot do that. You will be spotted. You will pay the price. And then 3 Crown Esports showing why they are called 3 Crowns, because they carry these crowns on their head. OPness.
Oh, lovely stuff coming in from the boys from 3 Crowns right there. 21 in some trouble, but they're still trying as much as possible to stay alive. You can see Pharaoh just trying as much as possible to see if he can get a knock right there onto one of the boys right there from 3 Crowns, who had gotten themselves previously a winner chicken dinner. If he does join in, looking at right there on the kill feed, just the boys from Slapfuck AT getting and taking down one of the players right there from Titan as Puncher does get knocked down. 21 still, who is now left with 3 players trying as much as possible to rotate and get themselves into that zone. But looking at right there on the kill feed, you do have the boys from 1 Million hanging out with 7 kills so far in this one. Desert Flame, we spoke about them, Priest, not performing as well as we do know them to be capable of. But in this game, they've gotten themselves 5 kills so far, and they are looking strong.
Yes, sir. I did talk about, my caster curse do be caster cursing, because 6Ben has been eliminated by 21st Century, and I really said that he was going to be the MVP. Woo, that's quite spicy. That's a spicy way to look at things. But then Desert Flame Esports already have 5 eliminations in their back pocket. They are looking extremely strong, and I do believe that this revive is going to come on to Classer there by building or by 6 scored, if I'm not mistaken, or one of his teammates there. So they're looking extremely strong, playing from this high ground position, looking down on the guys from Team Myth, Team Apex already to their western side, and 3 Crown Esports just ahead of them. But then Team Myth are not looking too strong. They look like they're in some kind of a sandwich between the guys from Desert Flame Esports and 3 Crown Esports. So I really do love to see how they're going to make it out of this one. And just as we said before, 1 Million Esports, 7 eliminations in the bag. Once again, they are showing us what they are made of. They're putting those big numbers up already. 37 players up, 11 teams still in the lobby, all of them looking for that winner chicken dinner in Sanhok. Slime 4KT, second place 2 times back to back. Hopefully, is this going to be the one that is going to grant them that elusive winner chicken dinner?
I actually don't think that Slime 4KT is going to take a Sanhok game. It's not the usual MO. It's not the usual maps that they do win. I mean, it would be a great surprise if they end up being winners, but it's usually not their thing. But for me, if they can get themselves into that top 5, grab themselves a couple of kills, it would still be, a great one if they can pull out, 10 to 20 points away from this particular game, and then go into that final game and probably get the winner chicken dinner. It would have been a great day. Regardless, I do feel like it's still been a great one. Kage taking out Lazy Boy right there, as you can see, and the 1 Million boys not looking so great so far. They've gotten into so many fights, but they're now down to just 2 players so far, and the boy right there, Blessing, just taking a look onto Venom and trying to see if he can get a knock onto him.
I do love the positional awareness from Team Apex. There, you can tell that they've practiced this earlier than today. They've learned a couple of formations to play in Sanhok. They have all of their bases covered, and I do love to see that. But now Desert Flame Esports looking extremely strong. They're trying to push against the guys from Slime 4KT. Klasa has been spotted, but Fexi is the one that goes down first, and now Grenade utility is already in play. Oh, beautiful grenade from Storm. Storm 2 OP. The grenade connects the Klasa, and now another grenade in front of Six God. Again, the grenade drops onto the head of Six God. Confirms Klasa. Slime 4KT looked like they were on the back foot, but no, it was just a mirage. It was just Cruise. The guys from Desert Flame Esports getting spotted out. Oh, Building confirmed by Plaza. That was orgasmic.
Woo! Old rivals coming in right there with a beautiful, beautiful fight. And the boys from Slime for KT coming out on top in that particular one and sending them home. Now we're turning our sights onto the boys from one round who were getting shot up by Pharaoh from 21st Century right there. But it does look like they're just going to hop into their vehicle and pull out of that particular region. Some crazy stuff that we're seeing so far. The boys from Slime for KT have got themselves 6 defeats so far. Remember, we did talk about them, just getting maybe 10 points away from this particular game. And that will probably be enough for them up on that leaderboard to continue to show exactly what they're capable of to maintain that top 3, top 5 spots. But we'll see how it goes as they now turn their sights onto the boys from Meath. Remember in the last game in Miramar, these were the guys who were giving them a lot of problems, and they might be looking, they lost 2 players in that one. If Priest, okay, if they didn't lose those 2 players, they might have gotten the winner with a chicken dinner in that last game. So definitely we'll be looking to take out the boys from Meath.
Well, that is that's the very, very interesting scenario to talk about. Ifs, buts, and maybes, and that is the beauty of PUBG Mobile and playing at the highest level of PUBG Mobile. You have to be absolute in your decisions, as the guys from Team Myth are already absolute in their decisions here as they eliminate the last player from Slime 4KT. Slime 4KT going out in 10th place. Unfortunately, they have been spotted out and they are eliminated, but not without some eliminations in their back pocket. Now A9Q and the guys from Crown Esports trying to find a little bit of space to play with. They are looking extremely strong once again, playing a beautiful part, a beautiful section of the play zone, holding it tight, putting their hands on the throat of the zone, saying, not today, you are not going to escape me this time around. Crown Esports looking fantastic in their position, but I see the guys from one round also getting to a skirmish against the guys from iMEGA Esports. iMEGA have not had the best day so far, but I am not going to rule them out just yet. They do have a Nagato knocked down, but then this is zone 5. This is not the zone for healing. This is the zone for violence. This is the zone that you should already be in the play zone. Agathe is trying to heal, 24 meds in her back pocket. Probably if she could convert her bullets to meds, she would probably do it. Agathe 2 OP.
All right, great stuff. As we do see the boys from 21st Century trying as much as possible to get themselves some extra points right there. They're getting prepared for that heel strat going down with Agathe. All right there. Several different teams trying to, as much as possible, make their way into that zone themselves, and we'll be curious to see how this one actually does play out. We're down to the 6th zone right here, and this is where things now begin to get really bloody. I do believe Agatha can get into that zone and just try and hold on onto that 7th zone before the heel strat actually does start. We're seeing some knocks going down at every particular position. Mad Knight still looking quite good in this one. They've gotten themselves only 1 kill so far, but they got a 3-man squad, and I'll be curious to see how this one actually play out for them. iMEGA Esports not having quite a day, like you mentioned before, now looking to get themselves into that zone as well. You can see 20 meds right here for Mons, and it's got to get that heal on.
Well, yes, and I talked about this today being the finale, a whole lot of heel strats going on. Titan Gaming getting eliminated in 9th place. You do not see that every day, and just as expected, I was expecting a whole lot more from the guys from Titan Esports. Pharaoh 21st Centuries top fragger trying to make his way into the play zone. He has been spotted by the guys from Crown Esports, so he knows that that position is cancelled. He is never going to make it if he tries to rotate from that position into the play zone. It's an unfortunate scenario for him. Now he's trying to make another entry. He's trying to find some way, some place to call home, but then the guys from Team Apex are already on his eastern corner, or already on his right, just to his right. You can see the guys from Team Apex, but then Tyson from Mad Knight not letting the guys from Team Apex rest, as Blessing has been knocked out. But then who is he going to look forward to? Pharaoh has been dropped down to about 10 HP. The zone is not your friend at this point. Unfortunately, he is confirmed by the guys from 3 Crowns. Finally, the guys from 3 Crowns are making it into the play zone. Look at 3 Crowns. Beautiful position from them. Mad Knight, Agent 47, getting those heals of Tyson, the last player for Mad Knight inside the zone. Cacao finally brushing up into the play zone as well. Fire, this is the time for 3 Crowns to do a back-to-back chicken dinner. I can see the hands on the wheel of the clock turning.
Man, crazy stuff coming down right here. The boys from 3 Crowns are looking to probably grab themselves on another winner chicken dinner in this particular game. And they got themselves 4 kills so far. They got a couple of teams around them, but they are holding a great position. And this is exactly what they did, you know, in the previous game where they were able to grab that winner chicken dinner. We'll be curious to see how this game actually does pan out. The boys from Apex, Machine, Kage, Professor, looking like they might be able to grab something out of this particular game if they can get into a good spot. You just see Mad Knight there for the 7 still holding his own right here in this spot. I'm not sure if he's trying to get into the zone. It does look like he's trying to move into a good spot within that zone, as he does not have enough meds so far. But judging how far away he is from that zone, it does look like this may just be a lost fight.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they did make the conscious decision to start the heal strat. You know, a couple of shots being sent towards the way of 1 by Agent 47 there, and he does get confirmed by A9Q. Oh, you do not expect shots like this to happen, but Devil, the last player for iMEGA Esports, 9 meds in his hand. Now Agatha is a battle of the meds, is a battle of the heal strat. There are 10 remaining players, and there's 7 remaining teams, and none of them is inside the play zone. Now, we talked about this fire, we talked about the heal strats coming into effect now that we're in the finals. Now 3 Crown Esports with 8 eliminations, and most likely this chicken dinner. Just take a look at Machine has the opportunity to get a little bit of a touch onto the guys from 3Q Esports and 3 Crowns Esports, and he does get that confirmation. 7th place going out for the guys from Team Apex. Now look at Agatha. This is our last med.
Crazy stuff going down from a lot of these teams, as everyone's employing that heal strats right here. You have about 5 teams employing that heal strats, as the boys from 21 go out in 6th place so far, and you do have the boys from Team Myth trying as much as possible to continue to grab themselves some points. But my goodness, a lot of teams trying to grab themselves those extra points and putting on those heal strats. And the more teams putting on, you know, the heal strats right here, it's all down to who does it best. And you can see Farouk has still got himself about 10 meds so far, and he continues to march strongly. As you can see, other teams are just getting eliminated around here, with the boys from 1 round going out right there in 4th place, and Team Mid continuing to do quite well for themselves. They got themselves 4 kills so far, and you can see Farouk is still matching on right there with 9 meds. And my goodness, this man knows what he's doing.
He absolutely knows what he's doing. He has practiced for this day all of his life, and we did talk about this right out the gate, that Team Myth have already planned to play the heal strat game. 4 eliminations in the bag, 2nd place. It is not too bad. That's about 19 or 15 or 16 points, somewhere around those numbers. So that's a very, very good one. But another back-to-back chicken dinner for the guys from 3 Crown Esports. You have to love it. You have to love the consistency. This is another consistent team. Again, right outside the gate. Big shout out to 3 Crown Esports for giving us that back-to-back chicken dinner.
Oh, the boys from 3 Crown Esports doing quite well for themselves and getting another winner with the chicken in this one. Maybe this might boost them all the way into that first spot. Slam for KT got a couple of points. I do believe they got themselves about 8 points in this particular one, but this might just be enough for 3 Crowns to steal that position away from 1 million and Slam for KT and move all the way into that top spot. So great stuff. Not what we saw coming in the beginning of the day, but going into this final map, they would just be patting themselves on the back and telling themselves, hey, you know what, we've done quite well for ourselves. We've been quite good in this one, and it is time for us to just go out there, have our fun, and see how it goes.
Exactly what I thought. The play style coming in from most of these teams, I did see it coming. Now that we're in the finals, a whole lot of healing is going to come into effect. And I wasn't surprised when I started to see those teams. I started to see Team Myth already start to make plans and make preparations for that. The MVP is most likely going to be someone from a high elimination team. I'm not sure if it's going to be one of the players from Three Crowns. They were impressive, but hopefully I hope it's one of them, but it's unlikely because of the way the play zone turned out, and most of these teams actually took it upon themselves to engage in the hill strats. I mean, we had like 10 players up, and out of those 10 players, 4 of them were Three Crown Esports players, so the remaining 6 were all somewhere inside of the blue zone healing away themselves. So very, very interesting plays coming in from these teams, but then you can only do this in one map, and that is Sanhok. Now we're going back to Erangel to close out the day to know how this is going to pan out, and just as expected, Desert Flame Esports, Flacco, the MVP, 600 eliminations in the bag for him, 600 damage actually, and 5 eliminations in the bag for him.
Yeah, lovely stuff coming in right there. We saw some early action coming in from the boys from Desert Flame. Flacco putting in the work in this particular game and getting himself, those kills. So lovely stuff. We want to see, some more stuff coming in from the boys from Desert Flame, as they might be able to now get themselves into this game and continue to grab themselves, some points. But the Sanhok game always being, that different map with a lot of heal strats and stuff, not telling the entire story when we look at, what happened in the lobby. 1 Million boys coming in right there in 3rd place, as well as Team B coming in 2nd place, but all of them employing, their heal strats so far. So we'll be moving into our last map, which is going to be an Erangel map in a bit. But before we go there, let's take a look at the boys on 1 Million, getting themselves 8 kills in that particular one.
Okay. So we've got the guys from 1 Million Esports, most valuable team, 8 kills, 8 eliminations, over 8,300 damage, and a survival time of 22 minutes. Although they did not win the chicken dinner, but these are chicken dinner stats. These are literally the same stats the guys from Three Crown Esports had, I believe. The exact same stats, but I do believe that the damage is where the difference is. Are pretty much similar survival times, but then I think the guys from 1 Million Esports just use this opportunity to keep themselves just up there on the leaderboard in their performances so far. I'm looking forward to see what the head-to-head and the seismograph is going to tell us about this Sanhok game. But the eliminations have been beautiful coming in from these teams, Three Crown Esports and 1 Million Esports. Just look at that. Just as I said, pretty much the same thing, but the damage is just significantly greater on the part of 1 Million Esports. But it's just unfortunate that they did not collect the chicken dinner to boot. The survival time is almost insignificantly the same thing, but then Three Crown Esports playing more like a team with 9 assists under their belt, 9 whole assists, and out of 8 eliminations. I do not know the magic behind those numbers, but somehow, some way they managed to put these numbers up. Unfortunately, none of these teams had grenade kills. They had no utility usage to get any eliminations, unfortunately. But then, looking at the gun skill, you do have to be, it's quite remarkable, the way these teams have played. But then the seismograph, like I said before, is going to give us a clear idea of how these teams performed, damage in relation or directly proportional to the amount of eliminations that they managed to get across the board. But then 3 Crown Esports is the first place team. They did get the winner chicken dinner. They did get over 1,100 damage, and then 1 Million Esports just significantly dealing more damage than them. You can see 1 Million is definitely significantly more aggressive so far, based off of what we've seen. But then 3 Crown Esports, I do have to love their tacticality, in taking these engagements. But Fire, did you expect, the guys from 1 Million Esports to actually have more damage than 3 Crowns that won the game?
Yeah, I did. If you do remember, they got themselves a lot of early kills going up against guys like BJE. They were in a long fight with them, and they were just taking on fights after fights. They don't shy away from, getting into those early skirmishes with several different teams, and that's why, you're finding them all the way up right there. Regardless of the fact that they decided to go in with the heel strats, they're a team that is always looking as much as possible to get themselves into sticky situations.
And then we're finally seeing the seismograph, and it's showing us exactly what we wanted to see. Once again, Slime 4KT also dealing significant damage, over 1,000 plus damage, there. And then 3 Crown Esports and 1 Million that we just saw coming together, coming close, basically having the same amount of eliminations, but then the damage on 1 Million just slightly surpassing the guys from 3 Crown Esports. Desert Flame finally putting some good numbers onto the board, but then slightly and unfortunately shyly coming through of the 1,000 mark. But they did have some good number of eliminations to boot. 4 eliminations coming in from the guys from one round. They did have 700 plus damage. I figured, I hoped that they would deal more, but then all of these teams did have some element of the heal strats, inside of their gameplay. So that's really reduced the amount of damage that could have possibly been dealt by them. But Team Titan, once again, dealing over 700 plus damage, but not enough eliminations. And now 3 Crowns Esports shooting themselves all the way up to first place, 5 points clear of the guys from 1 Million Esports. You can see Slime 4KT trickle down to third place. It's an unfortunate scene here as they are 11 points shy from the first place. That 3 Crown Esports have used 2 back-to-back chicken dinners to secure themselves. Now 10 points away from Team Myth, Slime 4KT, but then 1 round jumping all the way to top 5 with that beautiful finish that they did have. The guys from Titan Gaming again slipping down the ranks all the way down to 6th place. Cyclone Shield maintaining, showing that no, we are not going backward, but then we are not going forward either. We're just going to hang back here, the first part of the leaderboard. And then a Black Cobra all the way down in 8th place, 16 points, 2 points shy of Cyclone Shield Esports.
Man, what a day, especially looking at that bottom half. As you have Blackjack Esports getting 15 points and sharing the same amount of points with the boys from Mad Knights right there. So it has been a really crazy day for a lot of these teams. But looking all the way at that bottom of the entire map, you have Afro getting 0 points, as well as the team 21st Century just having 8 points alongside with the boys from Desert Flame. And my goodness, several different teams from Soul to Desert Flame and 21st Century having a tough time. But Afro definitely will be wondering to themselves, what is going on so far?
Man, I don't know what it is, but like I said, these teams, they just bit a taste of the lobby, and it's just bitter. It's just a bitter taste. This is a bitter tasting tournament to the guys from Afro Esports and 21st Century right now. I'm sure this tastes like aloe vera to them, honestly, because I'm pretty sure they don't like this, but hopefully, like I said, it's just day one. They have plenty of time to learn strategies and adapt. I still see them, coming up, even possibly winning the entire thing. I mean, I do love to root for the underdog, like OPness. You can't hide OPness. You can only pretend it doesn't exist, but you can't hide it.
All right, there you have it, guys. Priest rooting for the underdog, hoping that they will be able to, rejig their performances and see if maybe they can grab some winner chicken dinners and even at the end of the entire tournament, take home the prize. All right, so I do believe we should be going into a break. And then we'll be right back for some more action right here. We're going into our last map, which should be an Erangel game, so don't go nowhere.
Can't get enough of this thing. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Three Crowns African Elite League finale, day one, and we are bringing you match 4, which is Erangel, the last match to wrap up the day. It's your boy Priest, and I've got Act Fire with me, Superstar Caster Starboy. How do you feel after all these games?
Man, it's been shocking. It's been crazy action. We've seen some camping here and there. We've seen some missed shots. It's been great. It's been great. But there are several different teams that have lived up to the expectation. I'm still waiting to see some teams like Mad Knights, Blackjack Esports, as well as Desert Flame, show more of what they're capable of in this particular game. There's some nerve shaking right there. I'm not sure why, but we saw a glimpse of what Desert Flame is capable of from Flacco in the previous game, as he got 5 eliminations to his name. So hopefully he'll be able to build up on that and rally his team into performing well in this 4th game.
You're right, actually. The guys from Million Esports, I did see a little glimpse of their capabilities. Cluster, Flacco, six squad and building. They've been working extremely hard just to keep their numbers up. But then it's an unfortunate scenario where they found themselves. They've been working, but the work has just not been enough. Hopefully I hope to see more of them, but then this is just day one. We've got 3 more days to go, so we are wrapping this up on the 25th. So big shout out. Is that 25th or the 23rd? I think we're wrapping this up on the 23rd. 25th, I'm not sure, but the longer the better, so I've been enjoying this so far, so why not? But then big shout out to 3 Crowns, giving us the African Elite League, the best of the best African teams chilling together, giving us these vibes. And then again, you've got Monster Energy fueling us to drive esports forward in the African region. And now we are here, the last game of the first day of the last day, basically, of the finale. So yeah, basically it was all the same thing. I'm just rambling off, but then we're back to Erangel Central Playing Path. None of that military base thing. I'm 100% certain that the play zone is not going to be a military base this time around. So 21st century, I really want to see what you can do when the play zone is not a military base.
So let's see how that one actually does work out, as they were able to grab themselves some points when the last map was a military base. But we're seeing that zone shift all the way from that central region towards that west region, all the way towards that central eastern region around Lipovka. So a lot of teams will begin to move towards their landing spots. If we do see the boys from Seoul and CLS moving once again towards that region around Primox. We see there's a flame around that region within Gadkar in some splits around to get themselves some extra loot. With those are the boys from Cobra going all the way towards that Pochinki, as well as iMEGA, who is around them. And we're curious to see if they're going to be getting into an early skirmish right here with other teams. And yeah, everyone's just holding their spots. I do believe we're going to be seeing some early action in Pochinki. Let's see how that one builds up.
I'm seeing the guy. It's actually very interesting to see how stubborn most of these teams are, because I do remember the first Erangel game. I saw Team Cobra, Black Cobra, and Team Myth get into a little bit of an engagement early on, and I think Myth did lose some of their players to the guys from Black Cobra. So is that going to repeat itself? Is that going to be, the order of the day once again? But then you can only see that in the African Elite League, brought to you by 3 Crowns and Monster Energy. Fuel your energy. Big vibes coming in from the guys from Team Myth. They are holding this Pochinki position. So basically, these two teams are really saying to themselves, I am the king of the Pochinki. No, I'm the king of Pochinki. No, I'm the king of Pochinki, because that's the vibe that they are both emanating. Nobody wants to give up, even after they've already had the first taste of each other in the first game, but they are definitely not giving this up. Lovely to see the energy that these teams have, they brought to this map exactly. But then the play zone is not their enemy right now. So hopefully I want to see how this pans out. This engagement, is it going to happen, or is one team just going to fade away into the darkness?
All right, these two teams being absolutely stubborn, looking to get themselves into some early fights, but we absolutely love this, especially because it's going to be giving us that early juicy action. We see Hamodi and the rest of the boys just waiting for who's going to make that first mistake and who is going to be taken out right here. I'm still asking the question, okay, is Meet Broly the former Gone Broly? All right, I'm asking that question out there, right there, to everyone who is, watching this particular game and probably knows the team. But it'd be great to see if Broly is back in the game, because he was known as one of those players who were one of the major players alongside with Nefmi from that former Gone team. So it'd be great to see if it is also him bearing that same name. But all right, the boys from Cobra just waiting for who's going to make that first mistake. Hamadi's right there on that roof, just tailing several players right there from Myth, and everyone's just eating, just waiting for that one spot right there. Priest, who do you think is going to win this particular fight between the two of them?
Well, we've seen a little bit of an engagement coming from these guys, in the first game, and I think Team Cobra was actually much more successful, in that first engagement. But then Hamodi has been dropped all the way down to about 1 HP. They now know his position. They now know that they've dealt some damage towards his area. But then is the push going to come through from Farokh? Farokh is known to be very, very stubborn in these shots. And just talked about Broly 2OP, but I do not know if it's the same Broly from Gun. That was an actually fantastic player. If he is the same one, it is actually quite lovely to see that he is still on the scene. He is still dealing damage just like he has been dealing for the past couple of years in the industry. But now Team Myth, they're biding, they're stalking, they're chilling, and they're holding their positions against the guys from Black Cobra. Black Cobra is another formidable team. I do believe that they're one of those teams that qualified right out the gate on the first day. So that was very, very impressive. They didn't even need to do too much. They didn't even need to stress too much. They just made the finale right out the gate. But then Farokh, Allah, Ramsey, and Broly from the guys from Team Myth roaming around all of bootcamp, just trying to find a little bit of space, trying to find a little bit of position just to outplay the guys from Black Cobra. But it's unfortunate. Black Cobra do know Pochinki like the back of their hand, so they are holding each and every single position tight.
And it's a crazy time as these two teams are being absolutely careful, just waiting for that one opportunity to push on to the next one, and everyone's looking to get themselves both kill points and at the same time, get into the fight. So we're just going to be leaving that one and looking on to several different teams who are looking to get into those fights, while those two boys are just, admiring each other for now, just waiting for mistakes to happen. We'll just be looking around onto several different teams as you got the boys from Blackjack Esports. Blackjack Esports, Chris, is one of those teams who's always known to be a very aggressive team, but we've seen them so far in recent times just sort of like just reduce their dominance that they usually have on the lobby. Like, knowing them, they would be that team when we first met them, who will go around, looking for fights, trying to take on everybody. What do you think has happened to them? Is it just a much more difficult lobby, which looks obvious, or something about them has changed?
Well, Fire, that's a very valid question, actually very, very valid, because I do believe that most of these teams, the level at which they participate, it tends to get much more difficult as time progresses, Now, I really love to use examples like relatable examples when I'm talking about most of these teams. For example, if we're talking about Blackjack Esports, now Blackjack Esports, this is an Mzansi team. They are Mzansi finalists. Back to back for a while now. They've been playing at a competitive level, for as long as I've known them. But then it really boils down to what the kind of lobby they have is, because this particular tournament is top tier. It is very, very hard. The play style that you may have in a different kind of tournament with different types of teams and different types of players is always going to vary, based on the amount of experience that is in that lobby with you. Now, this lobby has not one, but two PMGC teams. PMGC, Global Championship teams, Fire. There's two of them in the lobby. So you have to be very, very careful. You have to be 100%. And I do believe that Blackjack Esports have actually grown. It's all growth. I call all of this growth because, the certain way you would play at some point is very, very different from the way you would play at certain different tournaments. I mean, Blackjack Esports, you could put them in some other tournaments and they would do this exact same thing that you're talking about, look out for fights, eliminate everyone, but no before.
Yeah, definitely them meeting some other teams who are probably on their level and respecting the lobby a lot more than they would in several other competitions. and we've seen that being evident that they need to be a lot more strategic about how they make their approach towards taking on the game. Now we're beginning to see the boys from Myth and Cobra get into a fight right there, as two players from Cobra are currently down right here in Pochinki. We did see them early on, looking and just waiting for who was going to make that first mistake, and the boys from Myth are now looking to make that push onto that location. They got one of their players currently knocked down as well, but they'll be looking to get that revive as Broly has now been gotten back up. The boys from Cobra are just holding their position down for now, and as you can see, Ramsey is just inching and just waiting for an opportunity to get another knock onto the boys right there, and boom, they finally do get it as Broly gets a knock. But my goodness, what a time for the boys from Cobra as they are getting run through by Myth.
Team Myth looking absolutely beautiful in this push coming in from them in the south corner of Pochinki. Now it's all left to Hamoudi, the last player for Team Cobra. He has been spotted out. This is a 1v3. They do know that he's somewhere lurking in the shadows, somewhere around this area. They've heard his footstep. He drops the first, but he doesn't drop the second, as Ramsey with 1 HP, but not 1 HP this time around, eliminates the guy, one of the guys from eliminates the last player from Black Cobra. But then Team Titan, best in third party, they've pulled up to the scene. They know that some engagement just went down, and now is the opportunity for them to reap where they did not sow. That is the beauty of experience. Are they going to take the fight? They do not take the fight. I was expecting them to take the fight, but they do not. I was expecting them to actually get into this engagement and just, clean up what's left of the guys from Team Myth, but they actually favored to get a better position in the zone. Fire, do you think this was a wise choice from Team Titan?
I think so. Just faithful getting into that zone, getting some of those extra points. They've not been, doing. This is their last chance to probably get that winner chicken dinner that will boost them all the way towards that top of the leaderboard. So definitely that's what they were telling themselves. But turning our sights right now onto the boys from one round, you can see Escano just looking as much as possible to chase down several players around him. I do believe that they got a finish onto one of the players, but Titans, as we were talking about before, have now gotten themselves into a great position and gotten themselves a kill. I do believe they took out one of the players right there from iMEGA. So it's just all about them just finding the right position and the right circumstance to take out other teams.
Yeah, and just like we talked about earlier, you said that Titan did make a better choice by getting into a better position in the zone, and I think it has started to favor them. Fortunately, they got 2 eliminations onto the guys from iMEGA Esports, but Slime for KT finally getting their hands on the guys from Afro Esports. They've not had a chance to feast on the guys from Afro Esports like the other teams have been feasting on them today. Now is the time for Slime for KT to get their own chance to feast on the guys from Afro Esports. And here comes Storm driving into Punk. He uproots him from that vehicle. That is definitely going to happen as Punk falls out of that coupe. The coupe does not save him. He gets confirmed by Storm instantly, and now Punk has been punked. He has been sent back into the lobby.
Yummy stuff. Lovely feast right there, courtesy of Afro to the boys from Slime for KT, getting 1 kill, just showing what they're capable of once again. Sitting down in third place, finishing 2 games in second place so far. Might this be the game that Slime for KT does end up getting that winner chicken dinner? We'll see how it continues to build up, but regardless of the amount of action that we've seen so far in this particular game, we still got about 15 teams right here. Would you believe that? So many teams are still alive in this particular one, and everyone is on survival mode so far, trying as much as possible to get into that final zone.
All of these teams, all of them trying to find a way into the play zone, trying to find a position that they can, deal with. iMEGA Esports once again falling short in the lobby. I do not know what is happening to them. Nagato and the rest of his teammates once again succumbing to an unfortunate scenario there as they go out in 15th place. But then the guys from Crown Esports holding this beautiful split, sending a couple of shots towards those players all the way across the northern position from them. Titan finally holding the higher ground. Puncher has been knocked down, but I do not think the confirmation is going to come through on him. Building has been spotted by P6 there, and he has tagged his position, giving it away to to the rest of his teammates. But now the guys from 1 Million Esports looking extremely capable, looking extremely confident, as Venom does know that the guys from Team Titan are already inside this position. I think a couple of shots from him are going to ring out into the ears of the guys from Titan. Are they going to return fire, or are they going to find a better position? Because right now 1 Million are looking extremely strong, playing on the topmost part of this Everest.
This is where the nades are going to start to count, but you can see the boys from Titans already beginning to make their move. Two teams that are absolutely aggressive, and Venom just falling down away from that particular position, and you know, might be at a disadvantage so far. Needs to rotate back up, and he does exactly that. The nades coming in right there from Poncha and Teak, looking as much as possible to take him out, and you can see right there he sends his own nade onto that location where the boys from Titans are at, but it is not able to do any damage. You also got the boys from Desert Flame, you know, far away, looking to get some third-party shots coming in, but right now things are getting really serious. That nade is bouncing in front of Venom, doing a little bit of damage to his health, but my goodness, what a time coming in between these two teams. You can see Lazy Boy and the rest just chopping those nades coming in from Poncha, and it does look like, you know, Titans might just be looking to, hey, you know what, let's just retreat away from this particular one and look to get ourselves into a better situation, as this position is currently occupied.
You know, you do have to love the experience coming in from these teams, and just like I said before, the pressure is definitely getting worse. A grenade trying to cook from Axa there as he sends a couple towards Venom, but none of them connects. They have given away the position, but they have left Axa behind. The guys from 1 Million do not know that Axa is in this position, but then they are not going to overextend, and that is why the experience is so important. The team Apex, I think they are trying to ring around the guys from Desert Flame Esports, but then Desert Flame Esports are actually very aware of the position. But then 1 Million Esports finally taking some fire from the guys from Team Titan, but oh, now the beast has been spotted. They tried to run him over. Himo unfortunately is not successful with that drive-by, but I think he's going to try again. If you know Jamam, if you know Connect once, you go try again. The beast using his vehicle to shield himself, but he cannot shield himself from that beautiful Glacier M416 that is used by one of the guys from Team Soul to end the game for him. But now here comes Poncha. Poncha has been knocked down. Now it's Venom versus Teak. He pops a little. He uses that UMP, drops Teak down to his knees, and now he spots the guys from Axa. Axa, the last player for Team Titan, I believe. Oh, okay, he's not the last player actually. We've got P6 there trying to get the revive on Poncha, and the revive does come through. But grenades on grenades from Marshall. Marshall has gotten spotted out there, but then he's confirmed he's dropped down to his knees again, and that's the beauty of the M416 against the S12K. Does not work every time. Lazy Boy eliminating the last player from Team Titan. Titan going out in 13th place. Fire.
Oh, man, lovely stuff coming in right there from the boys from 1ML. At some point, it looked like they were going to get on the back foot, but they found a way to fight their way back in that particular one and get themselves those eliminations. So crazy stuff as we're down to 12 teams in this particular one. Team Mid still looking quite strong. As you can see, they've got themselves 2 players. 1ML continuing with the onslaught, but Slime for KT has still got themselves a full squad alongside with the boys from 1 round right there, and the boys from Seoul all having 2 kills each to their name. So several teams continue to look quite strong in this particular one. We've not seen much action coming in from the boys from 21st Century and Team Apex, as they're currently sitting down with no kills alongside with BJE and the boys from Cyclone Shield. We're looking to see if they can continue to show exactly what they're capable of, as we see the boys from 1ML turning the sights onto Apex as Blessing White goes down right there. My goodness, what a time, as we're now beginning to shift into that 5th zone.
Here comes 1 million unrepentant in the damage that they continue to deal against all of the teams in this lobby. They have lost 1 player, but that is not enough to stop them. Marshall has been eliminated, but no, Senke saying no rest for the wicked, still on still, as he sends one of the guys from Team Apex down back into the lobby, and now Soul getting a taste of Team Apex as well. I knew that position coming out from Team Apex was a horrible one to be in. They are in the sight of every single team. Now Kage, the want to eat some bullets all the way from the guys from Crown Esports. Crown Esports having a beautiful position, playing this absolutely fantastic machine, the last oil in the machine for the guys from Team Apex. Hopefully he tries his best to survive the longest, but then they know his position. All eyes are on him right now because they're about to steal the show from him. He's the last remaining hopeful for the guys from Team Apex. Hopefully he finds a way to survive, even if it's to the top 5. I do not see that happening because of the horrible position that he's in, but then hopefully the guys from 1 Million will spot him on time and eliminate him just as the game goes on.
All right. So we're moving into that 6th zone right now. We got about 30 seconds until the zone now begins to shift. As we can see, the boys from 1 Million currently sitting down with a 3-man squad. Teammates down to just one player left. You still got the boys from Seoul who currently have a full squad to the name, as well as the boys from 3 Crowns with a full squad alongside with the boys from Slime 4KT. The other teams who have gotten themselves into some action, such as Cyclone Shield, who have got no kills so far, sitting down with 0 kills alongside with the boys from 21st Century, but they've got a full squad. But right now we're seeing the boys from Desert Flame getting into quite a lot of trouble right there, as they've got a couple of players who are knocked down. Twix right here has got to get the revive onto his teammates, as Soul Esports do lose one player, and Team Apex getting eliminated right there and sent back into the lobby. But my goodness, what a time, as the boys from 1 round are getting into that zone, and Flacco is just putting in the work right there, getting on knock after knock and sending them back right there, holding and dominating that particular position right there. There's a Flame showing exactly what they're capable of. They're a 2-man squad so far, but they're holding their own quite tight.
Oh, beautiful grenade coming in from Soul there. Soul Twix ending the game for the guys from Desert Flame Esports just as they were about to get their footing. And now Chico from 1 round, he put his head out of that car like a bus conductor, and he has paid the price. They have paid the fare, and the fare has cost him the game. In 10th place they go out, 1 round eliminated, and 21st Century have finally started to find themselves an angle to play the zone from. But now 3 Crown Esports creeping in to the guys from Soul Esports, trying to take this position. I think Kakao has the right idea. A9Q sends a couple of shots, but then Kakao is dropped down to 1 HP. They do try to find another angle for him to play with. Wise holding the corner, holding the angle, trying to find a little bit of space to eliminate the guys from 3 Crown Esports as the game continues to progress.
Lovely stuff coming in right there from those several different teams. Kakao and the boys from 3 Crowns looking as much as possible to progress into that next zone with a full squad. Slime 4KT still got a full squad in this particular one, and maybe this might just be the game where they grab home that winner chicken dinner. But looking at another team like Cyclone Shield and First Century, other teams that you spoke about, Priest, have not been able to seal and show what they're capable of in this particular game. This might just be the opportunity in this last game for them to come in and show exactly what they're capable of. We did see Cyclone Shield in that first game, hold a beautiful position within that particular zone, as they are once again in those buildings, but not able to show and seal the game through. But looking at 3 Crowns position right now, they're within that center right next to the boys from Soul, who is going to grab home this position. But look at that nade, my goodness, Priest.
Wow, what a grenade coming in from Kakao there as he knocks his own player, and that is what I mean by when I say the pressure is getting worse. I'm sure that was not the plan, but I think the revive is going to come through just because of the amount of bodies that are inside the lobby at this point in time. 21st Century getting their socks rocked by the guys from BJE. 3 knocks already, and 6 Ben, the last player up now. Chrono trying to reap the fruit of his labor, eliminating the players from 21st Century as he puts them down with that beautiful M416 spray. 6 Ben send a couple of shots towards their position. Now they know of his position. They're definitely trying to run in over. He drops down the louch, but he is spotted by MG as they are classically outplayed, and they go out in 8th place. Sexy Fexy dealt damage all the way from the guys from Cyclone Shield Esports as Isaac ends the game for Slime 4KT. They go out in 7th place. Well, talking about Slime 4KT, that was just an unfortunate scenario, Fire. Just look at how they go out, and then again 3 Crowns Esports again throwing grenades on themselves. Is this part of the strats?
Some crazy stuff going on right there, as we're seeing, teams just, get into. I mean, there's some nails shaking right here as you're down to that last game. You're making mistakes here and there, but kudos to the boys from Three Crowns holding their own so far, showing exactly what they're capable of. But now BJE, like we had spoken about earlier on, getting into the mix right there as they have a full squad going into this final circle. There's still Ramsey from Myth looking to cause some trouble for several different teams, but BJE now, probably they've been listening to us. They're like, hey, we're still BJE, we're still here, we still got what it takes to be able to perform, we still got what it takes to get them kills, to get that winner chicken dinner, and we're going to do exactly that. As they're looking, Petrox is looking to throw in that nade onto that position where Isaac is currently at. Isaac has been taken down right there. BJE have got one player knocked on their side, but obviously they'll be looking to get that revive. But take a look at Danny Brown's position right there from CLS, and Danny Brown is the last one hopeful for his team. Can he somehow pull out a bunny from his hat and make a play against the boys from BJE in this particular one? He's just waiting for that opportunity, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, big play that has to come out from the guys from Cyclone Shield Esports as the circle continues to close. But Petrox knows that engagement is not going to favor him. They really want to take out the guys from Cyclone Shield Esports. Finally, Isaac has been confirmed, but then Lilauch knows that Senke is there. He's trying to use the grenade to fish him out, but Senke is not moving a muscle. He's not moving any muscles at all. He does not want to get spotted out. They do know that this position is very crucial, but there goes Danny Brown. Out goes CLS in 5th place. Beautiful grenade from Coronal, the last player now for BJE. Okay, no, he's not the last player, but his name is Coronal last. That was going to be fun, what I thought of, but it didn't really pan out. But then Team Myth, Raze with 1 HP, the MVP with 1 HP, trying to survive for the guys from Team Myth. He is the last hopeful. Same thing with Senke, the last hopeful. So I believe we have a 4v4, 4v1, 4v1. So I believe that the guys from BJE might just get a spoiler alert coming in from Senke. 1 million once again crack into top 5. Once again they crack into the top part of the leaderboard, again maintaining this position. But then once again, Crown Esports, are they going to give us a back-to-back? They have 7 eliminations. They have a plan, and the plan seems to be working. The African Elite League, they won. This is match 4. Finals is crazy. It's crazy out here. The pressure is worse. Who do you think is taking this chicken as 1-9 eliminates the last player from Team Myth?
Man, I just found out, Priest, that while reading some of the comments right there in on YouTube, that 3C is actually the team that we used to know as Team Lag. So it's no surprise to me that they're able to perform as well as they are currently doing so far. So right now we got about 3 teams right here in the final circle. We got the boys from BJE, we got 3C, and as well as that one player from 1 Million Esports. They still, and this is the thing about great teams, right? Even when they're on the back foot, they still manage to get themselves into that top 3 situation right there. So it's a 4v4 situation coming in between Blackjack and the boys from 3 Crowns, and the spoiler might just be that last guy from 1 Million who might be looking to take out one player from each side. But man, I'm always rooting for the underdog, and not to say that the boys from BJE are underdogs of any sort, but so far on the leaderboard they've not been doing quite well today, and I'm rooting for them to grab those extra points against the boys from 3 Crowns, and let's see how they do in this particular one.
You want to see what Senke has in store. I really want to know what the plan is for him. He is the last player, and I don't think the guys from Blackjack really know what the play is here. They do not know how many players from Crown Esports are holding out that building, are holding out that position. But then the grenade does drop. Oh, beautiful grenade from Senke as he drops down Lilauch. And he then sends a Molotov in its place just to confirm the elimination. And now Crown Esports know that there's fire on the mountain, literally, but Coronal does not let Senke breathe. He ends the game for him instantly, pushing the guys from 3 Crowns back where they came, telling them that no reason, don't peek. If you peek, you will get put down.
All right, so this is a lovely way to end the game. It's a 4v4 situation, and it's all down to who has the superior firepower in this particular fight. So there are no number advantages in this particular one. It's all down to who makes the best decision while they're pushing on to the other team. They've all got the zone, and boom, right there, 1-9 goes down. These two teams, they know themselves quite well. They've played a lot in several different competitions, and it's all down to who makes the right decision right here. As you can see right there, it's now a situation where it's a 4v3. BJE now coming into the mix. MG and his boys looking as much as possible to get that next knock. Fantasy holding an angle so far, and boom, they've gotten a knock. All two down to the boys from BJE, and 3 Crowns are looking as much as possible to grab that other winner chicken dinner in this particular one. And my goodness, what a time! Oh, Cacao goes down, and it's just Fantasy left. And who might this be the time where BJE gets that winner chicken dinner that has been eluding them so far? Ooh, Chris.
Esports, are they going to make this a 3v3, 3-for-3? No, unfortunately, BJE, Chrono, 2OP, Chrono saying no, saying you cannot make this a 3-for-3. You cannot take chicken dinner after chicken dinner after chicken dinner on my watch. Blackjack Esports that we just talked about today, just as we talked about them in this final game, rising to the occasion, telling everyone that yes, this is what we are capable of. We can do winner chicken dinners. Just give us a little bit of chance, just give us a little taste, and we will take that winner chicken dinner. Big shout out to Chrono there. Chrono was absolutely phenomenal in that game.
And lovely performance coming in, all the same from the boys from 3 Crowns, as they got themselves into some great positions. You know, for a lot of people who are just watching the stream who don't know who they are, they're the team that you know as Team Lag. They're one of the best teams within the sub-Saharan region, or we could say within the entire African region, as they are continuing to show exactly why they are here in this particular spot. But BJE, Chris, BJE, we did speak about them, you know, not being able to show what they're capable of, and they are a very good aggressive team. But why don't we see them perform the way they have right now in every single game?
Well, the name of the game is adapt. You know, you learn, you adapt, you get a little bit better, you learn a couple of new strategies. You know, by the time you get bodied a couple of times, you know, like if you get bodied like 20 times, you know, you tend to learn something, unless you're extremely stubborn. You know, like the guys from Black Cobra, that they didn't learn from their last engagement in Pochinki. They paid the ultimate price for that, you know. But then you do have to, you know, pay attention to the details of all of these maps. I mean, Chrono, just like I said, he has to be the MVP. He was absolutely fantastic in all of those games. He held it down. He really held it down. 6 eliminations, 800 plus damage, going almost clocking 900 damage, survival time of over 27 minutes. He was absolutely fantastic. You know, I did love him. He did play behind the line. You know, he did play defensive for the rest of his teammates. He did eliminate Senke. He did hold the fort against the guys from 3 Crown Esports. He did get that Molotov that ended the game to get them the chicken dinner. He was all over the place, and most valuable team as well.
Yeah, lovely stuff coming in from them, as they were able much as possible to, you know, continue to grab those points. BJE looking quite strong up against the boys from 3 Crowns right here, as they got themselves 14 kills as opposed to 9 kills from the boys from 3 Crowns. But look at the amount of damage coming in from the two teams right there, all above 2,000, not just 2,000, quite inching close to even 3,000 damage. How many times do you think that happening from not just one but two teams within the same match and lobby? My goodness, look at the amount of kills that they had. Oof, what a game, what a time coming in from these two guys. It'll be curious to see how this all shapes out on the entire leaderboard, but we might just be seeing the boys from 3 Crowns maintain their spots all the way in that leaderboard.
Whoever is the IGL for 3 Crowns deserves, you know, to come to the club with me. I'm definitely going to take that person to the club, because that's some some superb IGL material right there, but BJE over 2,700 plus damage and 14 eliminations in the bag. But then look at Crown Esports, roughly almost half the number of eliminations, but strictly almost the same number of damage dealt across the board. So that could tell you that a whole lot of engagement was coming out from the guys from Crown Esports, but not a whole lot of confirmations. You know, Team Soul also coming through with 7 eliminations and then over 1,000 plus. But look at the number of teams that dealt over 1,000 damage. I mean, they just kept going and going. 1 Million Esports once again, Senke surviving to the last and still dealing damage, about 6 eliminations across the board all along the way. Team Myth always being somewhere in the ranks, 700 plus damage dealt, but with 5 eliminations. Slime 4KT falling into the trap that Titans have also fallen into occasionally, dealing over 1,000 plus damage, but with 4 eliminations only. Team Titan once again dealing over 1,000 damage, but only with 3 eliminations. I do not know how to feel about these plays. Head to head, Chrono and Cacao, absolutely fantastic stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, Chronolaz getting himself 6 kills against Cacao, who is on 4 kills right there. That particular one, lovely stuff coming in from the boys from BJE. There was something different about them in this particular game, Chris. You know, they were just going in and hungry. It was as if they had listened to us before the game started and said, hey, you know what, we're going to prove them wrong. We're going to show them that they were still the same BJE who has been performing in several different competitions, and we've gotten ourselves all the way into that finals, and we might be able to take this.
Exactly, that was the idea that they had, you know. And then taking a look at the leaderboard, Crown Esports holding first place just by the nuts there, charging up 48 placement points, but with 30 eliminations, just one shy of being the team with the highest eliminations in the lobby. But 1 million tends to claim that title, 10 points behind them in second place. Slime 4KT maintaining that third place position just slightly now with about 26 points behind the guys from Crown Esports. The gap has started to extend. Team Myth 3 points behind Slime 4KT in fourth place, but there we go, Blackjack Esports. That is the power of a chicken dinner, catapulting them all the way into fifth, just 5 points behind the top 4 teams. 1 round slinking down to 6th place with 27 points in the bag. Now you can see that there's some discrepancy between 5th and 6th place there. Blackjack Esports and 1 round, that is a significant number of points between them. That's about 17 points between those 2 teams, and then it's crazy that 5th and 6th place are sharing 17 points between them. The gap has started to show itself. Cyclone Shield Esports once again, agidi, stubborn, never moving forward, never backward, never either. 27 points still on the board, maintaining 7th place still, but then Titan Gaming falling even further all the way down to 8th place, and just remaining small, they will enter 9th position.
Man, crazy stuff going on the bottom side of the leaderboard, as we had the boys from Soul sitting down with 19 points alongside with the boys from Mad Knights, who will be kicking themselves and looking to see if they can perform a lot better in the next game. Black Cobra, who has shown us some, you know, great performances throughout the entire day, find themselves sitting down in 11th position. And this is a team that has been stubborn. This is a team that has been getting the kills, getting the eliminations, but they've not found a way to push themselves up and get those placement points. As you see them just having only 2 placement points right there. So that doesn't tell you the entire story. They've been getting the kills, but they do need to start to push themselves up towards those final moments within each game. iMEGA Esports and Desert Flame also find themselves within that 12th and 13th position, and they are probably looking to tell themselves, hey, you know what, we can perform a lot better in the days to come. Team Apex getting themselves 12 kills alongside with the boys from 21st Century sitting down in 15th place getting 9 kills. But my goodness, look at what we've seen from the boys from Afro Esports. They've got themselves no kills so far. They will be going back to you know, and kicking themselves and telling themselves, hey, you know what, are we this bad? I mean they got themselves all the way into that finals. They got themselves into this position. So what's going wrong for them? How come they've not been able to get any points? Regardless, not even one elimination so far. What is going wrong for Afro Esports, Priest?
What I would say is the pressure is getting worse. This is not the playoffs anymore. We're in the finals now. You made it to the finals. Then act like it, But then they did have difficulty, in the final stages of the playoffs, but then you still have to give them kudos for making it to the finals, even though they barely made it. You still have to give them props. It was actually very impressive. But then they needed to go and learn a couple of things, update the playbook that they've been using, because it necessarily wasn't cutting them any slack. They kept getting caught out on rotation a lot. They kept getting shown up, shown out every single time they go into an engagement, especially in classic 4v4s. They were always getting picked apart one after the other, and usually started with Swags or Neo. I kept noticing that, so I don't know why. It's still the play pattern, it's still the play zone, it's still the play style. It still boils down to the play style. It is still the same thing. It is not working. They need something new. They need a fresh pair of eyes or a fresh pair of fingers in their team, because I honestly do not know what is happening to them. Like I said, they've just tasted the lobby and no sweet.
Definitely. Lovely analysis coming in from Priest right there. For the boys from Afro, has they've gotten no points at all right here on the first day. 4 games gone. They do probably need, like he said, a fresh pair of eyes or fingers to be able to come in on the next day and perform as well as we do know them capable of. So lovely stuff coming in right here on the first day from the AEL. We'll be calling it a wrap for today, but we'll be right back for some more action same time tomorrow. And man, Priest, we've seen some great action so far. Who has been the team that has impressed you the most?
I've been impressed today by Crown Esports. Undoubtedly, they have been absolutely fantastic. From the first game to the last, consistent. But then, 1 Million Esports, Line 4 KT also chasing. They're not letting the gap get too unreasonable, because that's what demoralizes most teams, when the gap starts to stretch thin. Then you have to do more work and stuff like that. So Slime 4KT, and the guys from 1 Million have to, just hit the gas a little bit quicker. Just so they won't allow the guys from Crown Esports to run away with that. But then probably, they get all that energy drinking Monster Energy. So I'm guessing that's just the vibe, So that's just what's going on. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Yeah. All right, so that's all from us. Do remember to hit that like and hit that subscribe. Leave a comment for us at the end of the day on what you liked about the stream so far, and we'll catch you same time tomorrow. See you then.